right, we are underway. Day 2 is here, guys. Day 2 is here. It's going to be a fun night. There are still plenty of players that are on the board that are very, very good football players. Right now, we're just tweeting the links out, but it's going to be pretty much like always standard Q&A before. The draft, of course, technically does not start for a little bit. But, guys, there's a lot more to discuss than just the Michael Penix pick. I know everybody wants to make that pick out and everything, and everybody wants to discuss everything regarding that pick. But, I mean, this is... Day 2 of the draft is fun, man. It is incredibly fun, and I am looking forward to tonight. So any questions, fire away. Let's go ahead. NFL Draft Live, rounds 2 and 3. Let's tweet this link out here. And we are good to go. Boom, baby. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go, boys. There we go. Boom, baby. We are good to go. We are live. All right. Any questions? We can go ahead and fire right away. There's a lot of good prospects still available, guys. I was pretty shocked to see Cooper DeJean, Johnny Newton not make it out of round 1. Not get drafted last night. Adonai Mitchell, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jackson Powers Johnson, especially JPJ. JPJ, to me, is the epitome of a player that teams are going to regret in a couple years. Yeah, how is Johnny Newton available, man? That is a good question. That's a question that I still wonder. That I didn't know last night, and that I'm still wondering tonight. Now, I'm just pulling up everything that we have over here. Let's go ahead, pull it all up. Let's go ahead and pull everything up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go ahead and drop a like. Let's go ahead and drop some likes, guys. Let's go ahead and get it going here. By the way, I do have this set up tonight where I have like this. I mean, you can obviously see how the screen is, but I'm not going to be full screen tonight. I'm not going to be fully on the screen the entire time. Like, it's not just going to be me taking up the entire screen. So I know I did that last night, but I don't want to do that tonight. I don't want to be just the center of it every single time. Let's see. I'm a Bills fan. I don't know the best receiver available now. I mean, I personally think Adonai Mitchell is the best available receiver. That's kind of just me, but I'm a big Adonai Mitchell fan. I've been a big Adonai Mitchell fan the whole draft process, and I think he's a really underrated player. But let's go Buffalo, says Jim. All right, let's go here. Do the Chiefs go O-line? Yes, I can see that. I was surprised they traded up last night for Xavier Worthy. I was pretty adamant that I didn't think Xavier Worthy was a first-round pick, and then, of course, he goes to the perfect landing spot of all perfect landing spots for Xavier Worthy. So, I mean, it's just that's how the draft works sometimes. I'm scared of Michael because Mitchell rather, because why did he slip out of the first? The whole thing with him was the medicals and whether or not teams were scared of the potential like diabetes, and then there was something else I want to say recently that came up, but I mean, if you can clear the medicals, I think AD is a very, very good football player. That's just... Falcons should trade up for Johnny Newton. I am going to actually pull up on here the PFF simulator. I think the PFF simulator is very, very good in terms of just the general board. Now, there are some players that I think that are a little, not want to say overrated, but just I strongly disagree with the ratings. So Falcons trading up for Johnny Newton. I also like seeing, the interface on the PFF board better, but Atlanta picks at 43. Yeah, they're going to have to jump at least Houston. They will have to jump at least Houston if they want to get up there. They will for sure have to jump at least Houston if they want to get up, if they want to get Johnny Newton. And that's, there could be other teams that want Johnny Newton. I do think the Chargers will go receiver tonight, and I think the whole point of the Chargers going receiver going Joe Alt in round 1 was to be able to be where they are now and be able to have 3 or 4 receivers that they choose or that they can choose from on day 2. So I think the Chargers did exactly what they wanted to, and I think they set themselves up exactly like the way that the draft was intended for them. They take Joe Alt in round 1, and Joe Alt, I mean, guys, the pictures of Joe Alt like in his draft room were just hilarious. He is, I mean, I know he plays in the offensive line, but he is such a large human being that it's. I mean, you're not just a good NFL player because you're a large human being, but how do you get around him? What is the plan? I mean, he's huge. Pause. Now he is a huge human being. No pause intended. I mean, he can of course say pause, but no. I mean, Joe Alt is just, man. All right, Cowboys grade, I'd say A because they also got free third round. I would not say A. Maybe I'm a little different on that one. I wasn't the biggest fan of what the Cowboys did. I just thought they passed on a superior talent in Graham Barton, and I thought, yeah, I mean, sure, they pick up the extra third, but is the risk with Tyler Guyton worth the extra third? That was kind of where my questions with that selection came in. I was admittedly not the biggest fan of what the Cowboys did on day one because of that. Talisi Fuaga will be the best tackle out of this class. To be honest, I would be surprised by that. That's not a diss at Fuaga. That's more of a praise towards both Joe Alt and Olu. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please drop a like. It helps tremendously. We're going to be live for a couple hours tonight, so hopefully you guys are settling right in. And we have a lot to discuss, a lot of football to discuss. There's so many picks that I liked last night. There's not many that I had question marks. Of course, we all had question marks about the Atlanta selection, but there weren't many that I actively was just like, what are they doing? There weren't many. The only other pick that I would say I was not the biggest fan of was the Darius Robinson pick for the Cardinals, simply because I thought they could have either A, traded out of the first round and still got him, or I thought they could have just taken him at 35, and I thought they could have addressed the interior offensive line like Jackson Powers-Johnson, or I just thought they could have got a better player than Darius Robinson at pick 27. My MVP pick is poor. I wasn't the biggest fan of Chop at 21 either. And I think especially early on, I think that will show, but I think Chop will eventually prove to be worth it. But if you want immediate return, like, weeks 1 through 6 of your rookie year, which obviously a first round pick does not determine whether or not he's a bust in their rookie year, I think you're going to be a little disappointed. All right, let's see here. What pick do the Eagles have in round 2? They actually have 2 picks. One is at 50, one is at 53, and that is because of a trade they made back in 2022 with the Saints whenever they swapped their first round picks a couple years ago. So that was great. That was great just management by Howie Roseman back then. And I'm a big Howie Roseman fan. I really love the work Howie does, and I think he is amongst the best at what he does in the NFL. We have everything pulled up here, guys. I mean, I know the setup's not too much different, but I'm feeling better tonight. I have a lot of resources at the disposal here. When does the draft start and how many minutes? About 15 is when it starts. But right now, like any Q&As, we are just going on through. Miami Dolphins didn't impress me. How do you like the J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner picks? Now, again, I'd be lying if I said if I thought J.J. was the best quarterback on the board, or even the second best quarterback on the board, or in the draft, rather. But the reality is so much of a quarterback's success is landing spot, period. I mean, you look back just in the past couple years, I think 2018 is a perfect example. Look when there was 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round that year. What did the Ravens do around Lamar? They built around him. They put him in a position to succeed. They also didn't have Lamar start right away. They had Joe Flacco start right away. The Cardinals had a 1-year head coach with Steve Wilkes. They threw Josh Rosen in the fire, and granted, Josh Rosen brought a lot on himself. Volume is kind of low. Let me go ahead and fix that, by the way. Appreciate that. Hold on. Let me know if this is better, by the way. If somebody said volume kind of low, is this better? Is this better? Is this better? Testing. Are we good? Are we good? Let me know. Better. Perfect. All right. Anyway, no, but I mean, so much of volume is good. Plenty loud. All right, we good. But so much of a quarterback's success is based on landing spot. Now, there's going to be times where quarterbacks are not good because they're just not NFL caliber quarterbacks. Josh Rosen was a perfect example of that. But Josh Rosen also was not in a good situation. So Was Josh Rosen going to be a bust no matter where he went? Yes, but I don't think JJ is going to be that bad as like Josh Rosen was. Yeah, better, perfect, cool. If a center or guard falls, could the Vikings trade Garrett Bradbury for a day 2 pick? To be completely honest, I would be floored if the Vikings openly traded Garrett Bradbury. Just straight up. I would just be floored. I just don't think there's a reason for that. I don't think you look at Garrett Bradbury, and not to say that Bradbury's irreplaceable, because he's not, but I just don't I mean, unless it would be for Jackson Powers Johnson, but I don't think there's going to be any team that's going to say, yo, Minnesota, we need just anybody, whether it's Washington at 36 or whoever. I mean, Washington, of course, has pick 40, but there's not going to be a team lining up saying, hey, we need Garrett Bradbury on our team. Nobody's lining up saying that, so I would be extremely surprised. Do you like Ennis Rakestraw Jr.? Yes, I like Ennis Rakestraw a lot. He is, to me, just a good physical corner. I wouldn't mind the Lions taking him, but the Lions got a better prospect in Terrion Arnold. Now, if Ennis goes to a place like Pittsburgh, I would say Philly, but they drafted Quinyon. Ennis Rakestraw going to Arizona with Jonathan Gannon would be a good landing spot. I like Ennis Rakestraw a lot for what he is. It wouldn't have surprised me to see him back into day 1. There were a couple of times where I mocked Ennis to the Lions at 29. I like him as a prospect. My guy Jake says Arizona is in such a good spot, already a good draft for them, and it should get better. I mean, it will tonight. I can't wait to see what they do at 35. Like I said, I was not a big fan really at all of the Darius Robinson selection at pick 27, but that's one pick that, because they have Marv and because they got Marv, that's going to kind of be overshadowed, but I wasn't a fan of that selection at all. And like I said, guys, if you are enjoying, please drop a like. We are going to try to get a lot of viewers in here. We're going to try and have a good night. It's going to be a good round 2. Buffalo starts at pick 33, and I am eager to see where we go from here. So I think we're good and everything. The setup is looking good. I'm a new NFL fan. What happens to undrafted players? Can they make the league? Interesting question. Yes, they can make the league. It's a little different for undrafted players, but towards the end of the draft, which will be tomorrow, by the way, appreciate everyone dropping likes, what happens for undrafted players tomorrow at the end of round 7? During the middle of round 7 or so, and probably even as early as late to round 6, start of round 7, what'll happen is agents will start getting offers or start asking, start feeling around where their clients will potentially want to play. Where they will potentially want to try out for, because that's what it becomes at that point, is essentially a tryout. Not every undrafted free agent is an Ivan Pace last year, who wanted to have a very, very good rookie year for the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of the times it's, can we try and become a good backup corner, a good backup receiver, or is there a team that has shallow depth at the offensive or along their offensive line? So maybe if they carry 9 offensive linemen or 10, maybe my client can be that 9th or 10th offensive lineman. But there's a lot of times you'll actually prefer, or some players actually prefer to be undrafted because they can control where they go. And not only can they control where they go, but there's also a lot of times where the undrafted signing bonus money is actually better than the bonus money of what it would be if they were drafted to begin with. So being undrafted does not mean it's the end of the road at all, by any means. Teams will still pay out top dollar for undrafted players. And I mean, not top dollar, of course, but they'll still pay a lot of money. And being undrafted does not mean it's the end of the road for any player. All right. Why did JPJ fall out of round 1 when a lot of teams like the Steelers and Finns have center needs? Good question. To be honest with you, I don't have an answer for that. There's players every year that fall out of the first round that I don't think have business falling out of the first round. JPJ is one of them this year, and I think he is every bit of a first round caliber prospect, and you see it every year. There's almost no flaws in Jackson's game. He's a great. First off, he's a great football player. That, I mean, to be a first round pick, you have to be a great football player. Then you have to, pass the character test, which Jackson is. He was a team leader at Oregon, and 2 days before the draft, he went back and thanked like his favorite elementary school teacher or something just for helping him, pave the way or something along those lines. He's a great dude. It happens every year. And Jackson was one this year, unfortunately. Crazy that Johnny Newton dropped to the second round. I would agree with that. Johnny Newton was a top 10 player to me in this class, and whoever drafts him tonight should be pretty early. They're going to be getting an absolute steal. Alan says, love your content. Looking forward to your recaps of the upcoming season and this draft day. I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of content coming, a lot of content coming moving forward that I am very much looking forward to producing as well. Jake says apparently it was medical for Newton, something about his foot. What defensive tackles are left that are day 2 picks? Let's go ahead and go to the defensive tackles here. Let's go ahead and go to the defensive line. Johnny Newton is one. Chris Jenkins is another prospect that I like a lot. I think Chris Jenkins is going to be a guy that has a really solid floor in the NFL. Chris Jenkins is a former. His dad is a former NFL player. I think he has a pretty high floor. I don't know if Chris is ever going to be a multiple-time Pro Bowler or anything. His dad was really good, but Chris will be a guy that reads his keys the right way along the defensive line. He's not going to mess up and make big mistakes, and he's going to be in the best way possible, kind of like a steady Eddie. All right, Tristan, I disagree with your mock draft earlier. I think Falcons should go Spencer Rattler just to be safe. First off, appreciate the super chat. Any super chats, anybody, they, of course, go to the top of the line. It is what it is in that regard, but I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, maybe, look, Falcons pick at 43. I want to see where their picks are tonight, just so we can see where the Falcons are selecting. 43, 74, and 79. I mean, guys, there is a chance that the Falcons go Spencer Rattler at 44, or 43, was it? 43, rather. And then there's a chance they go Michael Pratt with their 3rd round pick. No, I'm kidding, of course, but I bet you're upset with the Xavier pick. I mean, I wasn't upset with it. It's just Xavier went to the perfect landing spot. Now, if you were a team that didn't have a good setup for Xavier to take him, then I would have been more upset. Like if Xavier would have went to the Xavier Worthy would have went to the Panthers, I would have been a little disappointed. Simply because they already have Deontay Johnson, they have Adam Thielen, and I would have been just, like, what is the plan here? What are we going to do here with Xavier? But if you're going to Kansas City, I think they more than have a plan. And, of course, they have a pretty good quarterback, too. Who would you like to see the Pats pick up at 34? A receiver. I don't care who it is. Adonai Mitchell, Ladd McConkey. You have to help your young quarterback. I mean, you have to. You took Drake May. I went in last night about how I have not liked what the Patriots have done all offseason. And you have to now help out Drake May. You cannot set up Drake May for failure. And you can't do that. Right now, Drake May is currently being set up for failure. Brandon, appreciate the super chat. Celebrate the 10th super. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead. Appreciate it, my man. And he says, what do you think of the Eagles getting Quinyon at 22? Was he your CB1 in the draft? Yes, Quinyon was my CB1. By the way, I do appreciate everyone being in here. So I just want to say a big thank you to you guys. And if you are, like I said, if you are enjoying, please drop a like. It helps tremendously with the almighty YouTube algorithm. But now, look, here's the deal. There's 2 GMs every year that I watch what they're doing, or not really what they're doing, but how the board unfolds for them. One, of course, is Howie Roseman, which is pertaining to this question from Brandon. And the other is Eric DeCosta of the Ravens. I might sound like a broken record just because of how much I praise these guys. Maybe it's something along the I-95 corridor right there. The I-95, that little part of the northeastern, that part of the northeastern part of the United States. But Howie every year just, it's the Jesse Pinkman meme. How does he keep getting away with this? How does he keep getting away with it? Every year, it's somebody. Jalen Carter falls to pick 9 last year. Now, that was a little different because of off-the-field concerns. But they took Jalen Carter last year. They took Nolan Smith in the first round last year. They took Tyler Steen in the 3rd round, who I absolutely loved for the Eagles last year. But to answer this question, to go back and answer it, yes, Quinyon was my CB1. I absolutely love Quinyon. I think in terms of play style and in terms of just personality, in terms of meshing with a city, I don't know if there's a better fit from the 1st round that I love than Quinyon Mitchell. Eagles fans are going to absolutely love him. There's gonna be reps where he gets in CeeDee Lamb's face, which Eagles fans are of course going to love. There's gonna be times where Dak either throws a ball out by a foot, or Quinyon knocks a ball away, and you're going to see him give him one of these, right? Eagles fans are going to love him. Eagles fans are going to love Quinyon. Justin Ziegler, appreciate it. Appreciate you being in here again, Justin. He says, which player gets traded tonight? Who do the Bengals take at 49? So this is my sleeper prediction. And by the way, I'll get to the Ricky Pearsall pick in a minute. This is my sleeper prediction that I'm just going to say this because I don't think that this is actually going to be dependent on this. My sleeper prediction is that either Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins gets traded to the Patriots because, like I said, I have been critical of the Patriots because of what they have not done to build around a young quarterback, because what Mac Jones was throwing to in his rookie year was awful. What Mac Jones was throwing to in his 2nd year was awful. And what he was throwing to in his 3rd year. Again, last year, I know Mac wasn't good, and that horrific interception against the Colts on that 9:30 Germany game, that 9:30 a.m. Eastern Germany game sums up his 3rd season. But for as bad as Mac was, his weapons were terrible too. So I think what the Patriots need to really do is look what the Bears have done with Caleb Williams so far and say, you know what, we have to do exactly that with Drake May. Trade a late round pick for Keenan Allen. I mean, not Keenan specifically because he's of course with Chicago, but trade a pick for a good receiver to help our young quarterback. Yeah, let's do it. Get a good running back. Let's do it. Antonio Gibson does not mean that you solve that problem, by the way. Although I do like Ramondre, but the Patriots would be my sleeper for either T. Higgins or Brandon Ayuk. I would prefer the Patriots to trade. I would prefer for T, just because there is some footwork problem or footwork concerns with Drake May, and whenever there's footwork concerns, if your foot, I'm going to kind of try and show this, if your foot is like this far off, that can be the difference between, a pass being here and a pass being here. So with T, there's a lot more room for error because he's a big-bodied receiver. So I do hope that the Patriots trade for T. Higgins tonight. All right, Brandon, my guy, appreciate it. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't watch a lot of college ball, so it's good to hear. Keep up the great work. All the best to you and your channel. Look, guys, like I said, I appreciate everyone being in here. I really, really do. And of course, that's not just to the super chatters, but that's to everyone, guys. I truly appreciate the support, and like I said, wouldn't be here without you guys. Let's see. Love the content. Appreciate it. Bean Dip. Appreciate it. So Ricky Pearsall, why on earth did the 49ers take a receiver, especially Ricky Pearsall? If they wanted one, there was AD, Troy Franklin, Xavier Legette, and Keon Coleman. That was one pick where, admittedly, I was not the biggest fan of. Now, I, first off, was not the biggest fan of the Bills trading with your direct competition in Kansas City and giving them Xavier Worthy. I would have said personally, hey, you want to come up, give us your 2nd round pick. And if they would have said no, then I mean, Carolina wanted to trade up from 33, so they might have wanted to trade up from 30, or they might have wanted to trade it to 28. I wouldn't have traded with the Chiefs. I would not have traded with the team that has eliminated my team, in 3 of the past 4 years. So I wasn't the biggest fan of what the Bills did, but the Ricky Pearsall pick was one where I wasn't the biggest fan of either. Like you said, Adonai Mitchell to me was a better prospect than Ricky. And, I mean, I will say this about Ricky Pearsall. With Kyle Shanahan as his head coach, with that system, with the amount of success they've had over the past 5 years, I wouldn't want to doubt the pick before he takes snaps. But there is reason to have concern with it, but I kind of want to wait, half a year and before we really just, absolutely slander the Ricky Pearsall pick. Let's see here. Any thoughts on what the Texans will do with 42? I want to take a look at what the Texans' actual draft capital is real fast before I answer that. The Texans have 42 and 59 and 86, so they have 3 top 100 picks. I will say this. If I were the Houston Texans right now, I would see what Arizona's doing at 35 because there is a chance Arizona... Actually, let's scrap that. I would see what the Charger? Nah, I mean the thing is if I'm the Texans, I'm trying to trade up for Johnny Newton. But I don't think anybody in front of them is going to take Johnny Newton. I really don't. What time are we at? We're at 7:01. The draft should be starting. Are we on the clock yet? Let's go ahead and refresh this here. But if you look at the teams in front of them, right? New England, I would be surprised with Barmore there if they take that, especially when receiver is such as big of a need for them as it is. Arizona just took Darius Robinson last year, who will play. He'll play. Well, I mean, he could be a 3-4 end. He could be a 4-3 tackle. Arizona's not going to take Johnny Newton. Washington has Deron Payne. They have Jonathan Allen. They're not going to take him. LA, I would imagine, has to take a receiver after not addressing that last night. Tennessee has Jeffrey Simmons. I'd be pretty surprised if they took Johnny Newton. And Carolina, depending how the board plays out, I'd be surprised if they take... I mean, I would be calling up to see if I can get Johnny Newton. So, to answer that one, if I were Houston, I would want to go up and try and get Johnny Newton because Johnny Newton should not be on the board. He should not be on the board right now. Sam says, let's go. Yeah, let's go, baby. Draft starting. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Apparently, the AD slide is because he isn't taking his diabetes very seriously and is managing it poorly. I mean, teams have more access to that than obviously any of us do. So that's something we'll never know until after the draft, unless AD slides. I mean, if AD slides like out of the top 50 or out of the top 75, then you'll know. That's going to be a pretty like big issue if that's the case. You know what I mean? All right. Are we back? All right. Where do you think Peyton Wilson goes? I got to be honest. That is another one that I have no idea because it's due to medical. There's going to be teams that probably have Peyton Wilson taken off their board. So I would be pretty surprised. Anyway, Cooper Beebe falls to the Eagles. Yes, absolutely. But to kind of go back to the Peyton Wilson thing for a second, he could go anywhere. PFF has him rated pretty highly. I don't think Peyton is the 30th best player in the class, personally. I want to say I had Payson. I want to say I had Peyton more towards the 60 area, but there's teams that might have him at 80. There's teams that might have him at 34. There's teams that might have him at 115 in terms of their big board. Peyton could go. It's not an exaggeration to say that Peyton's variance in terms of where he could go tonight is one of the highest in the class. So to be honest, I have no idea where Peyton Wilson's going to go. And I don't know how teams are going to feel about Peyton. Especially with a 24-year-old with concerns as a prospect. All right. Marshawn Nealon to the Commanders at 40. I would be pretty disappointed with that if they traded Montez Sweat to then replace him with Marshawn Nealon. I mean, that would be, to me, just one of the biggest, just straight-up downgrades that you can possibly have as a franchise. So I would not want that if I were the Washington Commanders. But I will say quickly, guys, draft is, I think it's starting. Let's go ahead and pull up the... I think we're on the clock, I think, right? Anyway, like I said, if you guys are here, we're all here for the long haul. At least I would imagine we are. Let's go ahead and drop a like. We're at 54 likes. Let's get that up to about 80 and see. Let's get it up to about 80. Appreciate everyone being in here. Cowboys need another injury-prone white linebacker. I mean, that's kind of the thing, man. Like, are they going to? Are they? I mean, no, the Cowboys aren't going to take him. Obviously, I know that's a joke with Leighton Vander Esch, but no, it's kind of my thing. All right, I have a stream here that is like way behind. There we go. Now we're good. Sorry, I was kind of like stressing out there. 70. Geez, guys, we popped that up real quick. That's what's up, guys. That's what's up. See, come on, guys, like the stream. Tell them, Brandon. That's what's up. Appreciate it. All right, are you ready for JJ to go down for snap next year or what? I don't know what go down for snap means. To be honest, I don't know what that means. Go down for snap. I am unaware of what that means. Bills draft. First snap. I see what you're saying. No, I'm not ready for that. Anyway. And then he said, just kidding. All right, let's go. We're back. We are back. Nelson Aguilar came to the Ravens and helped out a lot. No way the Patriots are that dysfunctional on offense. Yeah, they are dysfunctional. They are very, very dysfunctional. But I hope they get Drake May a receiver. I hope they get him some help here. Should the Jets trade up for a receiver considering they don't have a second-round pick but a couple of third and fourth? So what's funny is the Cowboys were talking about being all in, but I really think the Jets are the team that's going all in. And by the way, I love the Olu pick for them. I absolutely loved the Olu pick for the Jets. The thing is, I want to go back. I'm going to be switching between the PFF and then the actual like draft thing on NFL Network tonight. But the Jets capital, where do they? I want to say 72, right? So they just don't have a lot of capital, man. They also have Mike Williams. They have Garrett Wilson. So it's gonna have to be somebody that falls a little bit. Maybe if they're comfortable with A.D. Mitchell's medicals, but we'll see. I would like that. I'm not gonna say the Jets shouldn't. I mean, but we're talking about a lot of capital for them to move up because these picks in the early 30s are gonna cost a pretty penny for them. I mean, it's gonna be capital next year too. So we'll see. And teams generally do not want to move out without having a pick this year. Like I know it's even if a team was picking at like 60, they would not want to trade for next year's second just straight up. Not because that they wouldn't profit, because the likelihood is that they probably would profit, given that they'd have to finish in the top like 26 of the league. That's all they would have to finish. You know what I mean? Especially that pick could be 33 next year if you kind of get where I'm going. But teams want the capital this year most of the time. Even in down classes, they still want the capital to be able to select players that will contribute immediately. All right. Let's see here. Could the Vikings trade up for TJ Tampa or Ennis Rakestraw? No, I think I'd be surprised if the Vikings make a pick tonight, to be completely honest. I don't think the Vikings are going to be... I don't think you're going to hear from the Vikings tonight, to be completely honest. Lad McConkey to the Patriots is a match made in heaven. I wonder why we say that. I wonder why. Can you help me understand that one? I'm a little lost on that one. Can you help me understand why Lad McConkey to the Patriots is a match made in heaven? I'm not quite following. Could you help me with that one? I don't get it. Does anybody understand that one? Lad McConkey to the Patriots being a perfect fit for the Pats. Huh. Hasn't hit me yet. If it hits anybody in the comments, let me know, because I don't get it. Any chance for a Bears trade up? Where are they selecting tonight? No, I would say no, by the way. No, because they only have like 4 picks, right? It was like 1/975 and 122, right? I'm completely kidding about the Lad McConkey part, by the way. I appreciate it, Jake. He says the commitment to the bit is honorable. Hey, look, I'm just gonna say whenever Lad McConkey and Cooper DeJean, whenever they are selected, there will be a lot of just descriptive words about those two young men, specifically Lad at the receiver position. But let's see here. He's got a good motor and high football IQ. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, good motor, football IQ to go to the Patriots, that makes sense. Would I rather have Jackson Powers Johnson or Edge Cooper for the Cowboys? For me personally, not close. I'd rather have Jackson Powers Johnson. I am higher on JPJ than a lot of people, and I really think JPJ is a guy that will make 3 or 4 Pro Bowls along the interior offensive line, and I think he's a guy that in today's league, if you can plug and play and not have to worry about a position and just say, hey, go start here for the next 6-7 years, barring injury, of course, just do it. And I think that's what Jackson Powers Johnson is. Let's see here. Do I think the Cowboys get Jonathan Brooks at 56? I would like it, but I don't think they necessarily will. Do we think we see any running backs taken tonight? Absolutely. There will be several running backs taken tonight. There will be several running backs taken tonight. Do I think Higgins or Ayuk gets traded during the draft? If they do, it's going to be like within the next 10 minutes. It is going to be within the next 10 minutes if either of those guys get traded. It's going to be within the next 10 minutes. We have the old... By the way, last night we did not do spoilers. I'm not saying I'm all for spoilers by any means, but I will have the this screen right here. Like, we will have the NFL pick is in, like, it'll come up on the NFL.com. So if we have spoilers, I can't help that. How did I feel about the Chiefs taking Xavier Worthy over A.D. Mitchell? From a player-to-player standpoint, I did not like it, but I can't sit here and act like I know what the Chiefs medical staff found. I also think that if there's work ethic concerns, that's a huge red flag, and that's like borderline take guys off the board. Spoilers are horrible. Give us your Bills prediction. I will be typing predictions here. So my first prediction for the night. I mean, I'm not going to predict A.D. Mitchell for every single pick because, like I said, with the diabetes thing, with the fact that there is supposedly work ethic concerns, I'm not going to sit here and predict because I don't know how teams feel. So I will predict for the Bills. I will go ahead and say Keon Coleman is my guess. Good call, Austin. Cooper DeJean got to be the pick here. Look, the pick is not in. I mean, you guys will see if it flashes across here. Sorry, I don't know where the screen is relative to where I'm pointing, but you'll see it if it comes across here. You will see that. And I'll just leave it at that. If not AD, Keon, or Troy, yeah, I mean, Keon makes a lot of sense for him. They have Khalil Shakir, who is a very solid player. He stepped up big in the final 10 games of the year for them. And now you can get that big-bodied receiver. They lost with Gabe Davis. Alex says might be a trade. By the way, comment your prediction. For anybody that's new that did not watch last night, we did this a lot last night. Comment your prediction. My prediction is Keon Coleman. And I just think it makes too much sense for the Bills. Got to be honest, I think I would have preferred Xavier Legette for them specifically. But with Josh Allen as quarterback, you can talk yourself into a lot of players. Jake says Spencer Rattler. Come on, no. And by the way, if you are watching, let's get that like count up to 100. Let's get that up to 100. We're at 95. Let's get it up to 100. We're at 95. Let's get up to 100. Let's try to get 400 people in here. Let's try and get 400 people in here. Okay, so I don't know if this is true because I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be a doctor. But a person commented it takes longer to heal if you have diabetes, and that's a big problem in the NFL. Again, I'm not going to act like I know this or not, whether I know if that's true or not. But if it is, then that would in fact be a big problem. We got it up to 100. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Am I streaming both rounds tonight? We'll see. I'm calling it now. First running back won't be selected until the third round, and it won't be the guy from Texas. That wouldn't surprise me if it's not Jonathan Brooks. The Bills pick is not in, by the way. It is still not in. We have 3.5 minutes. 112 likes. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Which wide receiver do the Pats get? Hopefully Ladd McConkey. For obvious reasons. Hopefully. Okay, for the hell of it. Good question from Alex. What team do you think will take Spencer Rattler? I think it will be the Los Angeles Rams. I've said for a month or two that the Rams to me is a perfect destination for Spencer Rattler. I would really enjoy the Los Angeles Rams going with Spencer Rattler. That would be my prediction. The pick is in on the screen. It is not in on NFL Network. Now I don't know when they update that, but we'll find out, I guess, together here. We will find that out. But the pick is in on the TV screen. Pick is in. Here we go. Pick is in. All right. All right, guys. Who do you guys think it's gonna be? What round will Michael Pratt go? I think he'll go tonight. I honestly think he will go tonight. I like Michael Pratt's game. I think especially in today's NFL that you have to have a solid backup quarterback. So I like Michael Pratt a lot. But Michael Pratt will go tonight. I would be surprised. You should say 1, 2, 3 sub. What is oh like subscribe to the channel? I mean, I hope everyone's in. If you're in here watching, I hope you're subscribed to the channel. I really do. But where do you think T'Vondre Sweat goes? Big run stuffers are a niche role, but having one can come in handy in the playoffs. Yeah, so T'Vondre Sweat's a little different just because there's going to be teams that probably take him completely off their board because T'Vondre Sweat had a DUI or DWI, one of the two, a couple weeks before the draft, and there's going to be teams that say, you know, if you can't, you know, basically not do that a couple weeks before the biggest event of your life, then why should we draft you? And that's a completely valid thought. So I don't know where T'Vondre Sweat goes. And without that incident, and if, you know, there was a normal circumstance, I'd say top 50. All right, pick is in. It's being announced on TV. Pick is in. Who do we think? The pick is in. Keon Coleman, Florida State. Now, I gotta be honest, guys. I like Keon a lot. I am a big Keon Coleman fan. I think he is a big-time player. To me, he is, I mean, this is kind of sad to say this because there's going to be people that don't remember this guy, but he reminds me a lot of Anquan Bolden from back in the day. Ironically, Anquan also went to Florida State, but Keon is just a strong, physical, punch-you-in-the-mouth receiver. Keon he's very, very athletic. And look, I don't care about the 40 time. The big thing with Keon Coleman is there's going to be people that say the 4.61 40, but his play speed is so much faster than the game speed that I don't really care. If he ran a 4.8 based on how he plays on the football field, I wouldn't care. Keon is a beast. And especially now that you get him in a situation with Josh Allen, and you have Khalil Shakir, you have Dalton Kincaid, you have James Cook. I like Keon Coleman a lot. Somebody said, I think more Kelvin Benjamin. You know what's crazy is Kelvin was actually good for one season, and then he kind of, you know, ate his way out of being good. But I don't think comparing to Kelvin is a bad thing. And I know, obviously, like, people are only going to remember, like, you know, Fat Kelvin because of the jokes and everything. But no, Kelvin in his prime, although a short time period, was a very, very good player. And I want to say he did not win the Rookie of the Year, but he was a really solid pick. He might have actually had 1,000 yards. I want to look that up. I am going to go ahead and look that up if Kelvin Benjamin had 1,000 yards, because you got to remember he was with Prime Cam. Let's look up Kelvin Benjamin's stats. Where do I think Tyler Nubin will go? He's going to be a specific player because there's going to be a couple teams that simply don't want to have. Oh, we got to trade. Chargers trade up. I just saw that on my, I just saw this right here, I saw the logo change. We have a trade. Who is this going to be for? Now, I am going to go over here to the almighty simulator just so because I like to be able to see draft capital, and I like to be able to see where, teams are picking. 34th and a 5th. Okay, so hold on. 34 and 137 for 37 and 110. We're going to go ahead and force this trade here. Force it. Chargers are on the clock. Who are they going with here, guys? Who are they going with? You guys, oh man, Adonai Mitchell would be so fun. Adonai Mitchell would be so fun with Justin Herbert. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a huge Justin Herbert fan. So I hope they get him a good receiver. This is, oh man, who did the Patriots trade out of? Man, I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. This is exciting because they already took Joe Alt. Cooper DeJean needs to be taken now. Cooper DeJean going to Arizona would make a lot of sense. Who are the Chargers going with? The pick is in. People are saying, my prediction. I'm going to say A.D. Mitchell. Got to I type my prediction in, so you know where you got to be. All right, here we go, guys. Who are we taking? Who are we taking? Chargers trade up. They trade up. They give a 4 to get a 37 and a 5. Who are they taking? Newton, Pats WTF, Newton or Roman Wilson. I think this is a little rich for Roman personally. I like Roman, but here we go. Chargers pick is in, baby. Hear me out, Johnny Newton. I mean, I like Johnny, but I mean, we got to get Justin Herbert some weapons. We have to get Justin, Justin has to be able to throw the ball to somebody. Who are we ultimately going with, guys? Pick is in. I'm still like looking at my computer. I'm going between my computer and TV to see who we're going with here. Who is it? Who is it? Lad McConkey. Oh, man, that's a good route runner. That's a... Man, oh, I love that. I love that, man. Oh, now we have Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater. I mean, let me just hear Joe Alt. Sorry, let me go back. Joe Alt and Lad McConkey in the first 2 picks of your draft is a hell of a way to start an era. By the way, that is a fumble for the Patriots. Why would you trade out of that? I'm sorry, but why would New England trade out of that for a day 3 pick? Are they going to remember that day 3 pick in a couple years? Unless New England is confident that A.D. Mitchell is going... Unless they have him, there is no excuse to trade out of Lad McConkey when you need receiver as much as the Patriots do. So that's a bad job by New England. Phenomenal job by the Chargers. Joe Alt and Lad McConkey is a hell of a way to start a new regime. I mean, great job. I mean, like, what is New England doing though? I hate this so much for Drake May. And people, I mean, of course, like everyone last night, oh, you were crying because you guys didn't get Drake May. But, like, I'm upset for Drake May. Forget about me wanting him on my team. I am upset for him. This situation he's in is terrible. Now we just traded out a Lad McConkey. Now, and by the way, let's go ahead and draft. Let's go ahead and talk about Lad McConkey. I mean, look, this is the type of guy that I don't know if there's any, like... I don't know if there's any dads in here, but this is the type of guy you want to date your daughter. Look, Lad McConkey, hard worker, gym rat. I mean, he's the type of guy, he's first one in, last one out, high IQ. He's really going to be, he's going to be a lunch pail. He's going to be the guy that, first one in, last one out, hardest worker in the room. I mean, look, Lad McConkey is the type of guy that just a good locker room guy. I mean, love Lad McConkey. Bro, video is all blurry. Is it really? Is it actually blurry? If it is, that's a problem. But anyway. Calling Cooper. Is the pick in for the Cardinals? No. Fine on my end. Perfect. Cool. Appreciate everyone commenting that, by the way. By the way, let's go and get up to 140 likes. Let's get up to 140. Because I'm sure that's what Lad McConkey weighed as a freshman in high school. Let's get up. That's probably what Lad McConkey weighed as a freshman in high school. So let's get up to 140 likes. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Trade again. We got to trade. The Falcons are on the clock. This is what we're talking about, baby. This is electric. You know what? I'm going to say it. Day 2, or early parts of day 2, I will say, early parts of day 2 are better than day 1, in my opinion. I'm just going to say. Early parts of day 2 are better than day 1, in my opinion. There's so many teams that, everybody talks about being desperate, but day 2 is where you really start to get desperate because there's guys that, there's a couple top 25 players on the board, top 30 players on the board that really start to fall. And then, you have guys that teams that just want to move up. I'm eager to see who the Falcons move up for. Somebody said Rattler at 35. That is awesome, by the way. That is awesome. I wonder what the trade details are for the Falcons here. This is electric. Jake says, weird move by the Cards. They already have so much capital. A player like DeJean Newton or JPJ would be much more valuable. Jake, I am completely there with you, man. The pick is in. Pick is in. So the Commanders are technically on the clock. All good, Steve. I appreciate the clarification. Please appreciate the clarification. Pick is in for the Cardinals. Pick is in, baby. Here we go. Who are they taking? Pick is in. My prediction, by the way, for the Cardinals, or for the Falcons, rather. I don't know why I said Cardinals. Pick is in for the Falcons. I have to make this pick here. Chargers went Ladd. I don't know what the trade details were for the Falcons, so I'm just going to go ahead and force this pick here. We're just going to force, and the Falcons are on the clock. It's got to be Johnny Newton, right? Johnny Newton has to be the pick, right? There's no way it can't be Johnny Newton. Sorry, I got to type this in. I got to type my guess. My guess is Jerzon Johnny Newton. That is my guess. Got to be typing in the guesses. Got to be typing them in. I don't want to... JPJ, there's Spencer Rattler. I mean, man, that would be... I know everybody jokes about the Falcons, but... Right, they're all giving fist bumps. They feel good about this pick. The pick is in. Hey, man, you're big time. You've got random haters coming in and downvoting. 2 downvotes. Seriously, that's weak sauce. Hey, it's all good. Everyone's in here. We're all having a good time. I'm not worried. We're all having a good time. And, look, that's all that matters. Somebody said Bronny James. But I appreciate everyone being in here. I do, guys. I really do. Pick is in. Here we go. Here we go. If they drafted Rattler. I mean, Rattler would be so funny. Okay, so I want to pin this. Cardinals got 79 and 43 for 35 and 186. I actually really like that for the Cardinals, but they still need to draft good players, which I'll go to more in a second. The Falcons pick. Who is it? Somebody said Rook Oro. Is it really Rook? Oh my... What are we... Why? Why? You know what's a shame, man, is I like Rook. I like Rook Oro. He's a really, really good player. I don't like him more than Johnny Newton. What are we doing? Like, to give you an idea, let's just... I know the PFF board is not the almighty, like, ultimate, like, you know, we're gonna... This is how players are determined. But for reference, PFF has him at 67. They have Johnny Newton at 11. And I had Johnny Newton in my top 10, personally. But this is just an all-time just piss you off draft. Like what the hell, man? What, I mean, truly, why? This is just an all-time... This is an all-time... Let's just go ahead and just piss everyone off. Like... And that's a shame, man, because I do like Rook. I think he is a really solid player. I liked Rook going to... like, late 2, early 3. You know, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, like, the Falcons are good. They're doing this right. You know, they're going to make up for last night. They're going to get Johnny Newton. They're going to get an impact player on the interior. They're going to draft Grady Jarrett's successor. And then they draft a guy that's not... That's a round and a half worse than Johnny Newton. I don't get it, man. Like, can someone explain this to... If somebody can explain this to me, like I'm 5, like the ELI 5. If somebody can explain this to me, I would really appreciate this. I mean, am I overthinking this? I don't think I am. And the thing is like when you host a stream, you know, you kind of like have like your own biases, and I try to remain out of that, but like, as you know, the best I can, of course. But like, what is the point? Let's see here. Let's go to some comments. Looks like Falcons are going to... I don't know what this reference is. Oh, Rooklier on their draft. That's hilarious. That took me a sec, Alex. That is hilarious. Rutro Falcons. F for Falcons. Yeah, F's in the chat. F's in the chat. This is just the ultimate, like... I gotta be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and say this here. I hate the Rook Oro pick. Rook Oro over Johnny Newton more than I hate the Michael Penix pick at 8 because of who is on the board. Now, let's just discuss the Penix pick for a minute here, right? If you if you are the Falcons and you think Michael Penix is just your future guy, and you think that he can lead your team from age 27 to 37 to whatever, and you have a 10-year starter at quarterback, and Michael Penix becomes that guy for you. I'm going to go ahead and cuss here. Not the F word, but just minor cuss words. Nobody's going to give a shit what happens 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if Michael Penix becomes that guy. But, I mean, because everybody's quarterbacks, their rankings are going to be whatever. But there is no planet where Ruke Orhorhoro is a better football player than Johnny Newton. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Gotta guess the commies pick. Good call. Let's go ahead and guess it here. I want to see. I like going back to the big board here just to see who's available. I would guess Jackson Powers Johnson. Let's go ahead and type this here. Let's go ahead and just guess this. I'm sorry, guys, but like, there's just nothing. There's just no reason, man. Jackson Powers Johnson's my guess. Oh, I almost typed in there. That's yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's we're at 148. Let's get up to 160 likes, guys. Let's get up to 160. Need to protect Jaden Daniels. I completely agree with that comment, Jason. All right. Can't believe you just cursed my 8-month-old is watching. Sorry, Brandon. Sorry, little fella. Western sizzling. Anyway, I think your stream is lagging behind a bit. I mean, it's probably a little, but Newton here would be so funny. Honestly, it would be. Just because the Commanders have, like, everybody along the defensive line. Not everybody, of course, being, you know, Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, but I mean, look, I'm at the point, like, I don't really care, like, what the Commanders do, because they simply need to get better football players. Commanders are trolling with this pick. What is it? The pick's about to be in. They're about to announce it. Let's see here. I have the mental maturity of an 8-year-old. I don't mind the cussing. I just don't like just spamming the F word, like, especially if people are, like, you know, like, watching with their family or whatever, you know. All right, we're going to wait a sec. Darrell Green is announcing the pick. Let's see here. So good to see Darrell Green announcing the pick. Yeah, Darrell Green's a legend. Darrell Green is a legend. No spoilers, please. Let's see. Wow, commies. Do you think other GMs see what the Falcons are doing and have that same reaction? I don't know. I would say yes. I don't know how you justify in any sense that Ruke Orhorhoro is a better football player than Johnny Newton. Now, the pick is in. It has not been announced yet. I'm waiting for Darrell to announce it. We're going to go ahead and listen to Darrell when he goes up to the podium. But as we all know, Roger likes to just yap. All right, so they're dapping each other up, giving a nice hug. Darrell Green announced Terry McLaurin in 2019. Maybe he announces A.D. Mitchell in 2024. All right, now Darrell Green is actually, as we speak, he's getting his picture with Roger Goodell like he just got drafted with a Darrell Green jersey and everything. Let's see here. My prediction was Jackson Powers Johnson. Abraham wants AD. Surprised they don't have the Washington legend Dan Snyder announcing the pick. Says Brandon. Here we go. Who are the Commanders selecting? Who are we selecting here, Daryl? Who are we selecting? Who are the... Who do we think it is, guys? Comment who you think it is. Pick us in. This is the perfect thing to watch while eating dinner. Tom Brady. Shout out to DMV. Good call, Daryl. Shout out to DMV. This is taking so long. I'm sure the next 3 picks are in. They might be, man. They might be. They might be at this point. Jason Pierre-Paul, good call. JPP. Here we go. So, I like the football player. I don't exactly understand the selection. Which, like, I mean, I like Johnny. I mean, that is actually genuinely hilarious that Johnny Newton is the direct pick after. I mean, the Commanders actually just said, if you're not going to take Johnny Newton, we will. Which is kind of funny in itself, but... It's just kind of like with the Commanders, it's just like with their situation, like I would have preferred them to go with a receiver to help out their young quarterback. I mean, I don't hate the pick, I don't, but it's more of just like a why. I mean, it's, again, I know I just said, like, it's, you know, the key is to bring in good football players, and you have to do that, but you got to try to stop the tush push. The thing is Johnny Newton's, like, he's not as big as the other defenders they already have on their team. Got to dip out, going to leave this on to support the channel. Keep up the great work, bro. Have a great night, and enjoy the draft. I appreciate you being here, Steven. I really do. Patriots with a shocker pick. No spoilers, but the Pats fumble again. Yeah, that's the thing with Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. That's kind of the reason why I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's just like... Okay, I mean, Elliott Wolf Masterclass. Receiver or O-line would have been better. I would agree with that. They could have went JPJ, but if they did BPA here, it's good process. I would agree with that, Jake. I'm just like, eh. All right, what is, Oh, the Patriots pick's already being announced. Okay, we have no messing around this time. It is already being announced. The Washington Commanders pick has not been announced on the website, so here we go. We got to help out our young quarterback. We got to help out our young quarterback. Okay. Come on. There we go. There's the mute button. No, I mean, so I like Jalen Polk. Yeah, what's up, Sarah? Go ahead and ask. The thing is, I like Jalen Polk, but the thing is I don't think Jalen Polk was the best football player on the board. I mean, I had A.D. Mitchell above him. I had Troy Franklin above him. I don't hate it because you ultimately are, you are helping out Drake May. I don't dislike Jalen Polk to the point where, you know, where, like I did a couple years ago when the Pats reached extremely for Tyquan Thornton, but this is more of just like it's a solid pick. I'd probably give it like a B-. I certainly don't hate the pick by any means, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. All right, let's hear. How the hell did we let Dallas Turner fall to 17? I mean, hey, look. I'm all for it. But no, the thing is Jalen Polk's a good run blocker. The thing is, though, is like, I don't know the situation. Here's why I'm not the biggest fan of the Jalen Polk pick. No, it doesn't have anything to do with A.D. Mitchell. My whole thing with New England is, could you have, and we don't know the answer to this. I'd give it a B. But could you have traded this pick for either Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins? Because both of those guys are going to help out Drake May more in year one than Jalen Polk will. Now, Jalen Polk is a really good run blocker. He's really physical. He is the type of player that you want to, you know, come in and he's going to do a lot of things the right way in the locker room. Like, people are going to, I mean, people are like, he's a great football player. He's a great guy to have in the locker room. But could that pick have been T. Higgins or Brandon Ayuk? By the way, let's get the likes to 180. Let's get the likes to 180, which is actually more than what Xavier Worthy weighs. Let's see here. Personally, wouldn't have hated, would have gone with the cocoa bean there, says Brandon. Commanders with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and now Jerzon Newton is kind of crazy. He should develop well. I would agree with that. The thing is, it's just kind of like what is so are they just going to run 3-4 with Deron Payne as the 0 tech and then have Johnny and then have Jonathan Allen each play 5 tech? Is that what we're going to do? I don't know. Let's see here. Why is 80 falling? Everyone thinks that it's... Oh, by the way, we got up to 180. Let's go. Let's go. We got it up to 180. Let's go, baby. But 80 is falling because there's concerns with the work ethic and then a diabetes, which somebody said, again, I'm not a doctor. They said that if you have diabetes, it takes like longer to heal. So that was like one of the concerns. I'm praying the Steelers trade up for JPJ. Yeah, if the Steelers walked out with Troy Fatano and Jackson Powers Johnson, that would be huge. I'm honestly hoping that Jackson Powers Johnson goes to Carolina. Let's see here. Let us get to 200 like the video, you nerds. I appreciate all the support. I do. Truly. Let's keep it going, boys. Let's keep it rolling here. All right. What are some of the other... I kind of wish the Vikings would have picked Bo Nix in some way. He's just more accurate and in some ways makes better decisions. Whew, that is going to be a spicy take. That is a spicy take there. Someone should pick Michael Hall. I like Michael Hall a lot, man. He is a very underrated player. Michael Hall, to me, is... I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Hall finishes top 10 in pressures and as a rookie this year. Like, 4 rookies, by the way. Not all players, but I do like Michael Hall a lot. He's a really, really good pass rushing defensive tackle. He is he's a unique player. You're going to have a role carved out for Michael Hall. Now, if you want him in to stop the run and to be an every down player, you're going to be in trouble. But, all right. It is a very spicy pick. Didn't get to watch yesterday, but super happy the Jets picked up Olu and got free picks out of it. I mean, you should be. You absolutely should be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring the draft tracker back over. There we go. Pick is in for the Titans, by the way. Pick is in for the Tennessee Titans. Your videos are a go-to in the car at work, fam. Love from VA, bro. DMV. Yeah, shout out to DMV, baby. Shout out to DMV. Shout out to DMV. Pick is in for the Tennessee Titans. I wonder who they're going with. Pick is in. Who is your prediction? Good call. I did not predict. Let's see. I like always going back to the board here to see. I think Kool-Aid McKinstry would probably be the pick, man. That would be my guess. Kool-Aid is just such a Titans, or Mike Sanders still. That would be my guess. I'm gonna go Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is gonna be my guess. Kool-Aid McKinstry is my guess. I'm watching on NFL Network, personally. I have. Here we go. Tennessee Titans. Looks like Eddie George is coming out to make the pick. Here we go. Pick is in. I would love Sanders still. Sanders still would be a great player. Shout out the old Vikings player, by the way, that took like 15 minutes to announce the pick the one time. Jesus, man. That's a shocker. T'Vondre Sweat is off the board to the Tennessee Titans. I first off, from a football standpoint, I like the pick. I like it. Let's go. This was not one I was expecting here. T'Vondre Sweat, of course, he had the off-the-field concerns, especially with the getting pulled over a couple weeks before the draft. It is indeed the guy who is either DWI or DWI. I don't remember the difference. By the way, the Rams did make a trade, and they are, in fact, on the clock. But T'Vondre Sweat is, I mean, look, the Titans are making a statement in terms of what they want to do, in terms of how they're going to beat teams moving forward. Their first 2 picks with Brian Callahan as their head coach is J.C. Latham, who's north of 340 pounds, and T'Vondre Sweat, who is now north of 360 pounds. They are saying, we are going to physically kick your ass, and we are going to win games this way. Which makes me think that they're going to take either Braylon Allen or Audric Estime later in the draft. But the Rams are on the clock. Trade. The pick is in, by the way. Yes, you can ask any question. That is Drake May or Jaden Daniels. It's a prospect. I prefer Drake May. But the Rams are on the clock, and I am eager to see what the capital is. The Rams traded into the spot. So I got to be honest, I don't know what the trade up is. Brandon, appreciate the super chat. Appreciate it here. Appreciate all the super chats. Let's keep going. Appreciate it. Brandon says, what positions do you think my Eagles target with their second rounders? Do you think it's dependent on who that falls for? First off, yes, 1,000,000%. It absolutely depends on who falls to them. But I think linebacker could absolutely be in play for them. I think, let's see here, they pick at 50 and 53. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if there is a receiver that falls to them, I wouldn't be surprised. I want them to go either edge Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M, or if they can go Junior Colson from Michigan. That would be my ideal landing spot for the Eagles. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they beef up the defensive line either. All right. Braden Fisk. Is that... I got to predict the Rams pick, man. I don't know who the Rams are going to trade up for. Let's go back here for a second, because I like doing this here. Trade with the Rams. Oh, they're announcing the pick. I have no idea who the pick is, man. Spencer Rattler. No, I'm kidding. It's not Spencer Rattler. They're about to announce it. My guess is 80, Mitchell. Okay. So here's the deal. The Rams take Braden Fisk, defensive tackle from Florida State. They make him a top 40 pick. They trade up. I don't know the trade details for that. And indeed, we went 4 defensive linemen in the top 5, or not top 5, rather 4 of the past 5 picks. Kind of surprised by that one, to be honest. It's just not... I mean, I'm just surprised that Braden Fisk went top 39 to the Rams. I'm also really surprised T'Vondre Sweat went top 38. But I got an ad as soon as he said select. I can't control that, by the way. But no, here's the deal. Look, you have to replace Aaron Donald, and they're trying to do that with Jared Verse and now Braden Fisk. I really commend the Rams for knowing that one of the best players of all time left, and the first step is to, we're not going to, sorry, the first step is to try and fix it. We're not going to let it go for 3 or 4 years and just, hopefully it works out, which is kind of what the Saints have done at the quarterback position. They kind of threw some duct tape on a leak and just said, like, hey, we're going to have Derek Carr come in and fix everything. So I commend the Rams for immediately trying to come in and fix it, and that's exactly what they've done this draft with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. Now, the Eagles traded up. The Eagles have traded up, and they are on the clock. Okay. But I do commend the Rams, by the way, for doing that. But the Eagles are on the clock. Woo. They are on the clock. Hold on here. Who is this going to be for? Who are they going to be? Who are they trading up for? Cooper DeJean to have Quinion and Cooper in the secondary would be nice. Would be nice, but I don't know who they're trading up for. I really don't have a clue. Man, this is just a tricky one. I mean, I still can't believe that Cooper DeJean is on the board. That is one to me that I don't understand. And by the way, I'm just updating my board over here. That's all we're doing right now. So I'm just trying to get a better gauge so I can still look at my top 150 while not like, taking my eyes off everything. But my guess, by the way, is Cooper DeJean. Boom, Cooper DeJean. By the way, we're at 197 likes. Let's get that up to 205. Let's get it up to 205. Kool-Aid makes a lot of sense, by the way. It's JPJ to replace Kelsey. Oh, I like that idea. Although they technically tried to do that with Cam Jurgens a couple years ago. Cam Jurgens is... I like Cam Jurgens, but that was the intent with him a couple of years ago. So just saying. It is DeJean, it's Kool-Aid or JPJ. Man, there's still so many good players. By the way, we got up to 205 likes, baby. Let's go. There's still so many good players on the board that it really wouldn't surprise. I mean, the Eagles are going to make a good pick here. The Eagles are, and the Packers traded up. Oh wait, no, sorry. Or did they trade up? No, they didn't trade up, right? No, they didn't trade up. Sorry, that's on me. Somebody scared me with that. Who was that? Joseph, you scared me with that one. I thought the Packers actually traded up there for a second. All right, let's go here. I'm updating my board now. The Rams took Braden Fisk. All right, we are caught up. So the Commanders traded out of the Eagles. And I'm eager to see what the Commanders got in return for this. That's one where... And which pick did the Eagles give up 50 or... Does anyone know the trade details, by the way? Chat, does anyone know? I appreciate anyone that's like doing the trade details. I don't know the Dallas Turner Latu. I would say Turner, but just because I think he's going to be a better scheme fit. But the 5 years part, that's a tough question, by the way. Commanders really don't want to fix their offensive line. Yeah, I don't get it, man. 50, 53, and 161 for 40 and 78. Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? 50 and 53. Wait, so did the Commanders actually just get both? If they did, then I like this a lot for Washington. Hold on. There's a Commanders fan that I follow that tweeted fleeced. Here it is. Okay, 50-53. I actually like this for the Commanders a lot, to be honest. 50-53 for... And then 161 for 40 and 78. The Commanders still have pick 67. So the Commanders are loading up. I actually like what the Commanders... Get this dude off the bottom of my screen here. Get out of there. I just saw that. Sorry about that. But I like that a lot for the Commanders. Now for the Eagles. Man. That's way too rare how he gets done like that. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised how he made this trade, to be completely honest with you. That just does not seem like a Howie trade to me. It really just does not seem like a Howie trade to give up both. I genuinely am shocked at how he made that trade, by the way. That just does not seem like a Howie trade. I mean, I'm used to Howie doing the opposite. Saints trade up. Okay, Eagles are selecting. Here comes BG announcing the pick. Who do we have? BG is one of the most iconic voices in the sport. My guess was Cooper DeJean. Okay, good pick. Good pick. Love it for the Eagles. They exit with two very, very good players. I love that. I love that for them. That's a great pick, guys. That is a great pick. I'm borderline mad. There's no reason to burn 2 seconds. Hey, Cooper DeJean also brings a lot as a returner. Cooper's not just he's a big nickel. Think Kyle Hamilton-esque. Now he's not gonna have the he's not gonna have the he's not gonna have like the same ability that Kyle Hamilton does just because Kyle's 6'4", 210 pounds. But I think of that type of role. He's explosive. He's versatile. Cooper can play corner. He can play safety. I like Cooper DeJean a lot. And that actually makes a lot of sense as to why the Packers traded out. Now, can someone find, if you guys don't mind, can someone find the trade details? Because I'm trying not to find spoilers. What is the details here for New Orleans? Because New Orleans does not have a lot of draft capital to be maneuvering around like this. So I'm eager to hear what New Orleans Packers trade 41 for 45, 168, 190. By the way, shout out Key A-K. I'm just Key. We're going to say shout out Key. That's, I'm kind of surprised that I don't like that deal for the Packers, to be honest. I mean, you get 168 and 190. I don't think that's tremendous value. I mean, I would have asked for probably a 4 next year. But the Saints are on the clock. They went to Talisi Fuaga in the first round. Man, if the Saints, I will say this. Come on, please go A.D. Mitchell. Like, please, Saints, I am asking you just once to do something right. Like, build the right way. Go A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell is my guess. Like, please. I am asking the Saints to go with A.D. Mitchell, man. Please. A.D. Mitchell, guess. Type the chat. Everyone type the chat. Joseph, appreciate the trade details. The pick is in for the New Orleans Saints. Here we come. Here we go. Please be A.D. Mitchell. You have to get somebody more than just Chris Olave. Please be 80. So, I'm not going to complain about drafting a first-round talent, borderline first-round talent, especially when the Saints, I thought, did a good job of moving up. I would have preferred a receiver to help out Derek Carr, but I'm not going to complain about Kool-Aid McKinstry. He's a good player. He's a good CB2. Honestly, I really thought Green Bay should have taken Kool-Aid. I don't like that move for Green Bay to trade out of Kool-Aid. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good all-around move for the Saints. I think the Saints are actually having a really good draft so far, and I don't say that a lot about the Saints, but I really, really like what the New Orleans Saints are doing. I really like what the Saints are doing with their first 2 picks. Period. Cardinals got to be praying that the Texans pass on JPJ. Yeah, JPJ's a steal, man. Fuaga and McKinstry is just great drafting. True Suburbus. Yes, this is my guy. Jay Cooper, Wilson, and Colson are all way better than Schroeder. All right, let's keep it going here. Braden, my guy. All right, here we go. Super chat. Who is the best GM right now? It is Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, obviously. Dallas Turner. J.J. McCarthy, obviously. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, Braden says, do you think the Eagles made the right move despite what they gave up? I hear good things about this Cooper guy. Yes. I mean, the thing is, like, look. Does it seem like a lot right now? Yes. But you made this trade with the Saints 2 years ago. So the way that I look at it is this. Did you think you were ever going to have these picks? Did you ever think that when did you ever intend to have these picks? Cooper DeJean's a first-round talent. You get him at 40 overall, and now you have for your draft, you got Quinyon Mitchell, you have Cooper DeJean. I mean, you're getting 2 premium positions filled for the next couple of years. It's easy, man. Yes, great, very much worth it. Texans are on the clock, and the pick is in. I can't unmute the TV. There we go. man. I gotta be honest, guys. I am not a Kamari Lassiter fan. I don't like outright killing picks. I really don't. But Kamari Lassiter was not a player I was a fan of. I would have preferred Mike Sanders still, especially in that role, especially in the what you're probably going to have as a slot corner role. Kamari Lassiter is also slow. He ran a sub 4.640, and unlike other players in this class, that 40 matches what you see on tape. What I fear for the Texans and what I fear for Kamari Lassiter is we saw the type of breakout year Derek Stingley Jr. had last year. And I fear that teams are going to look at Kamari Lassiter's weaknesses at Georgia, which is undoubtedly speed. And if the Texans do not have Jalen Petrie or another safety to help him bracket over the top or shade his side of the field, it's going to be a long, long rookie year for Kamari Lassiter. The Texans, I have liked what they have done for the most part over the past couple years. Past 2 years, obviously. I mean, who hasn't? This is one that I am not a fan of at all. Hopefully it works out for him. I would have much preferred Mike Sanders still in this role specifically. Now, I will say positively that D'Amico Ryans is a great coach, and I'm sure he has a plan here with Kamari, but man, I don't like this one. I don't like this pick here. I mean, defensive line is still a need for the Texans. I would have preferred Chris Jenkins to Kamari Lassiter. Tyler Nubin to the Packers makes a ton of sense, by the way, to whoever asked that. Tyler Nubin makes a ton of sense to the Packers, so I would like that. Monty needs to cook. Monty does need to cook, and he has the opportunity. He can take 2 ducks or a longhorn here, and he'll still be cooking. I would like for Monty to take Jackson Powers Johnson a lot here. I wouldn't be upset at all if the Cardinals took A.D. Mitchell and ran 11 personnel with Marv, with Michael Wilson, and with A.D. Mitchell. I mean, JPJ is the obvious pick here. This is screaming Jackson Powers Johnson. But if you can have both Marv and A.D. Mitchell on rookie contracts for 4 years, I wouldn't be opposed to that. And I wouldn't really care that, hey, look, we spent 2 of our first 3 picks on receivers. Who cares? Where's the honey today? I didn't bring it, to be honest. Although I'm not gonna lie, I could use a shot of honey right now. That tastes pretty good. The honey I recommend the honey, by the way. But Cardinals may go for a corner. Who would they go for? Who would be a Jonathan Gannon corner? Sanders still would be a Jonathan Gannon corner. Ennis Rakestraw would be a corner. I like that call out, by the way. I am home. It's downstairs in the pantry. So for anyone wondering about the honey, my guess is Jackson Powers Johnson. I am absolutely home. I would not miss the draft. I'm not going to go leave the stream to go get the honey jar, unfortunately. By the way, we're at 217 likes. Let's get that up to 225, guys. Let's get it up to 225. Let's get it up to 225, guys. We're almost there. Pick is in for the Cardinals. I am eager to see who this is going to be, though. We'll forgive you for leaving for a minute to go get the honey. I'm not going to get the honey, guys. I'm not going to get the honey to take a shot of the honey, although that is pretty funny. If Cards get JPJ after trading back, that's huge. It would be huge. I'm eager to see who they go with here. I'm waiting to see who this... By the way, shout out everyone. We got up to 232 likes, baby. Let's go. Praying Chargers trade back up for another receiver. I wouldn't mind them going... Roman Wilson at this point. For the Chargers, that is. Pick is in. Pick is in for the Arizona Cardinals. Jackson Powers Johnson. I won't be too happy with their pick. I won't be too happy, they say. I'm tired of this draft. I hate everything, says the Atlanta sports fan. I mean, I can understand why. I can understand why. Roman Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, Troy Franklin, lots of good picks. Yeah, there's a lot of good receivers available. Like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to the Cardinals going receiver just to continue to help out Kyler Murray and to continue to get premium positions at a discount. Because that's the whole point of drafting like big guys early. Emmitt Smith is walking out. Cardinals legend Emmitt Smith is walking out to announce the pick. At least I hope that's Emmitt Smith, and I hope that's not disrespect to somebody else, because that looks like Emmitt Smith. Oh, it's Leonard Davis. That is embarrassing. I take responsibility for that. That's definitely a tough look for myself there. I got to be honest, but it looks like Emmitt Smith. So I apologize to Leonard Davis, but that's an embarrassing look for myself there. Pick is in. Who is it? Max Melton, corner, Rutgers. Okay, so I mean, I'm never gonna like just straight up dog a corner. I'm not just gonna dog a corner pick. I'm not just gonna be like, that pick stunk. Well, I did kind of for Kamari, but that's a little different reason. I'm not gonna defend a good corner, or I'm not gonna like say that a good corner pick stinks. I would have preferred Mike Sanders still, especially for that role. I just don't understand why Sanders still's falling, because I think Sanders still has all of the and Rakestraw too, for that matter. Melton is fine. There were better players. That would be kind of how I feel about this. It's a good pick, but I thought it could have been a great pick. Now, the pick is in for the Raiders, and the pick is also in for the Packers. I am eager to see. I got to be honest. If the Packers go A.D. Mitchell and trade back, I would be absolutely pissed. Just being honest. I would be, like, beyond livid. What part of Minnesota am I from originally? I'm actually from Maryland, so I'm not from Minnesota. Oh, by the way, for anyone wondering, I did not bring the honey tonight, but we brought best flag in the country, no doubt. Maryland. Raiders pick. Here we go. Being announced. Jeez, they're flying now. Picks are flying. Let's go! Let's go, Raiders! Let's go! Let's go, man. Let's go. Jackson Powers Johnson, Brock Bowers. That is oh, I love that pick for him, man. Let's go. That is punch you in the mouth. That is the type of pick that sturdy, powerful. That's the description for JPJ on the NFL Network. Let's go. I mean, Brock Bowers and Jackson Powers Johnson is an incredible start. That is awesome. They are two great football players, and the Raiders are killing this draft, man. I mean, that is awesome. Absolutely love that for them. I'm glad they got JPJ because I didn't want the Giants to have. I mean, that's just a steal. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's going to end up being a top 25 player in this class. I'm a huge JPJ fan. I will go to bat for him every day of the week. JPJ is a beast. And good for the Raiders, man. Big JPJ fan. If there's one thing that you remember from this stream, it is that I am a JPJ advocate. People are saying for me to go get the honey. I'm not going to go get the honey. But man, let's go. I am ecstatic for the Raiders fan base. Truly. I hope Tyree Wilson turns it around. I mean, the quarterback position, of course, that they'll figure that part out. The Raiders could be the next team to trade multiple and this would be next year, of course, but they could be the next team to trade multiple first-round picks for a quarterback. But I like a lot of players on the Raiders roster right now. I do. I like a lot of players on the Raiders roster. All right, hold on. Look, give me 1 second here. I'll get the honey. I'm not going to go get it myself, but give me a second here. All right, the honey is on its way. The honey is on its way. All right, Packers selection. Who are they taking? Pick is in. Okay. Edge Cooper, linebacker, Texas A&M. I like Edge. Now, Edge to me is a guy that I think 10, 15 years ago, I think he would have been not more like 20 years ago, but I think Edge would have been just a guy that you build a defense around in the early 2000s. He's a really good player. Now, I hope Quay Walker continues to build on what he built on in 2023. What grade would I give the honey? A+. But no, I do like Edge Cooper. It's a really good pick for the Packers. It is a good pick. That's what kind of needs to be remembered. Oh, here we go. Roommate bringing in the honey. Thank you. We got the honey shots. The honey is here. Thank you. The honey is here. All right, we will take a honey shot here in a sec. If we get a pick correct, by the way, the Panthers I think traded up. We will do a honey shot. But I'm eager to see where the Panthers go here. I hope my guess is they traded up in front of the Giants. So the Colts traded out. But what would they have traded up in front of the Giants for? Is there a specific player? I mean, the Giants... I don't want to keep saying A.D. Mitchell because I don't know, like, how far A.D.'s going to fall. Oh, somebody said Zach Frazier. That makes a lot of sense because then you could have John Michael Schmitz and Zach Frazier on the interior. Like for the Giants could have. So I could see this being Zach Frazier. I like that call. I hope that wasn't a spoil, by the way. But my guess will be Zach Frazier. I have no idea what this pick is. I'm going Zach Frazier. And by the way, if it is Zach Frazier, that's my guess. We will do a honey shot. So let's. I guess the people are hoping for the. I guess people are hoping that it's going to be Zach Frazier. Pick is in. Johnny Newton is a Washington Commander. Thank you, Riesel Goal for the trade details, by the way. Who are we going with? 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 Pick is in. Who are we guessing? Okay, Jonathan Brooks from Texas. I mean, he is a smooth, just running back. He's a great football player. Now, the Panthers, they traded back. They traded up last night to get Xavier Legette. Look, I'm all for this. I am all for the Carolina Panthers drafting Jonathan Brooks and Xavier Legette with their first two picks. The biggest reason, of course, is because you have to help out Bryce Young. So you trade back. They traded way back with the Rams, and then they traded back up. I don't know, like, the full trade details, like, in terms of what they got from the Rams and then what they did to give back up. But, look, they traded back, and they still got Jonathan Brooks. Some people's running back one in the class. I like it. And by the way, I know the ACL tear is going to be, like, the thing of discussion here, the big point of discussion. But what I would say regarding that is, and this also makes sense, by the way, why they traded up in front of the Giants, because I don't think Devin Singletary is going to be the back for the Giants. It's just going to save everything. But ACL tears, I'm not going to act like it's like, oh no, I hurt my finger here. That's just the same as an ACL tear, because it's obviously not. But what I will say regarding it is like they're not the injury that they were like 20 years ago, where it's like you don't know if they're gonna recover. Now, if there's other, like, you know, you tear your PCL and your patella or any other things within the knee, then that's a completely different discussion. But if it's just a standard ACL, I mean, it's pretty simple to just like attach it back and then recover. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not the same as it was 30, 40 years ago in terms of medical advancement. I don't worry about that. The pick is in for the Giants, and I'm eager to see where they go. My guess for the Giants, because they went Malik Neighbors in the first round. I'm not going to guess A.D. Mitchell. I'm just done guessing A.D. Mitchell. I'm just done guessing A.D. I really am. I'm going to guess Trey Benson. I will guess Trey Benson. And like I said, the chat was going crazy. If we do get it right, we will take a honey shot. We will take a honey shot. By the way, the honey, I know that people are going crazy for the honey, but honey, it sticks, so it kind of like it just builds up. I mean, that's the best part, because then you can, like, you know, spoon it out. But the honey is good stuff. This is a friend's honey. I have a friend that is like they're called apiaries, so it is local honey, the best. It is better than store bought, so definitely recommend the honey. But I hope that it is Trey Benson. I really hope that it is Trey Benson, because I would love. I need a little boost here. Need a little boost. So we need to know the game of football, and we need to get this pick. All right, Kieran says, "Love the videos, man. Would love to hear your opinion at the Chiefs, more from a rugby background. I would have to do more research on that, to be honest. Like, I would have to just do more research on that specifically. Let's see here. Picks piling up. They are indeed piling up. I'm eager to see who the Giants take. I am eager to see who the Giants take. Any thoughts, guys? I need your guys' guesses on who the Giants take. I need your guys' guesses. Who are we guessing? Who are we guessing for the Giants? My Minnesota boys. So there's people are guessing Nubin. I guessed Trey Benson. Trey Benson was my guess. Trey Benson. Jatavian Sanders. I'm not going to lie. I'd be kind of disappointed if they took Jatavian Sanders. Did anybody catch the Colts Panthers details? It was like 46, 152, and like 168. Or here it is. Sorry, I got it right here. 52, 142, and 155 for pick 46. Those were the details. By the way, Friday night. Appreciate everyone being in here, and let's get the 250 likes. Appreciate everyone being in here. We're having a great time. We're all rooting for it. Let's go. Let's get up to 250 likes. Fans want Rakestraw. Rakestraw would be a good corner. He would be a good corner. Who is my best available? I mean, A.D. Mitchell, of course, would be. All right, Patrick Paul for me. Fans want Rakestraw. Do I think Jonathan Allen is going to be traded? I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt they would just want to say, like, hey, let's just get rid of a good football player for really no reason. Why don't the NFL just announce the picks already? I have a question that I'll let you guys answer. Do you guys want me to get on Twitter and look to see who it is, like, just, or do you want to hear, like, through the TV? Because we can look. We can go look if it's not announced. I'll let you guys decide that. No. Okay, no was the first answer that I saw. No. Second, no. But again, I thought I'd leave that up to you guys. No. Okay, so a bunch of no's. Okay, so I thought I would leave it up to you guys. No spoilers through the broadcast. Okay, all right. Hey, I got you. I got you. I got you. Why is Mitchell falling? It's because of concerns with work ethic, and then diabetes was the other one. We got the 250 likes, by the way. Appreciate it. Here we go. Trey Benson was the guess. Good Lord, where is this pick? I like Nubin. I like Nubin a lot. Nubin he's just, I mean, the ball skills are there. He is a very, very just instinctual safety. They just lost Xavier McKinney. This makes a lot of sense for the Giants. I mean, you replace a player. I know that Xavier McKinney signed a big contract this offseason, but just because you draft a player, I mean, obviously the long-term goal is to sign them to a second contract, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be, like, that doesn't mean they're going to want to, like, sign there automatically, you know? I mean, the Giants, unfortunately, have done a lot of losing over the past couple years, and Xavier McKinney might not have wanted to sign in New York. So, Tyler Nubin will come in, obviously on a discount. Now they have a defense that's looking pretty solid with Dexter Lawrence, with Brian Burns, with Deonte Banks. Of course, KT, who was a first-round pick a couple years ago. Nubin over Javon Bullard. I mean, different roles, different strokes for different folks. Nubin is going to be... He's not going to be like a single high safety. They're going to have to run two shell because Nubin is not fast enough to run a single high safety, especially in a cover 1 or cover 3 primarily based defense. But I like Tyler Nubin a lot. Jacksonville's pick is in, but I think this is a good pick for the Giants, and their defense is really starting to form, and I like where they're going here. Jacksonville's pick is in. They, of course, took Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round, and I really like that pick for them. My guess. Zach Frazier is my guess. Zach Frazier. Of course, we take the honey shot if it's correct. Wow. Okay, so Mason Smith was a player that I don't think I had in my top 120. Mason Smith was a player that had a lot of potential entering the year and did not live up to that said potential. Now, there was a couple reports today from, I think Daniel Jeremiah said this, that teams are going to view players, they're going to have guys like Mason Smith in their top 50. They're going to have guys like Mason Smith in their top 48, evidently, like Jacksonville does. And then there's going to be other teams that don't have Mason Smith in their top 100. This is a pick that, if you take Mason, you have to have a plan. And I will say this positively for Mason. Admittedly, I'm not a fan of this pick. I'd probably give it a D+. But at least he has several guys around him, like Josh Allen, like Trayvon Walker, to hopefully just take some pressure off of him early and just take some other offensive lineman assignments, but especially in a pass rushing situation where, hopefully Mason gets some one-on-one inside. I don't like this pick. I really do not like this pick. I hope it works out for him, but the Bengals are on the clock. I would guess Jatavian Sanders would be my guess here. Although I'm not, like I said, I'm just not a fan of this pick. Man. Gonna have to start taking honey shots if you get it wrong. I mean, I think I might just go ahead and take one here. Jatavian Sanders is the guess. Oh, wait a sec. Jatavian Sanders is the guess. I think I'm just going to take one regardless here. Jatavian Sanders is, in fact, the guess. It'd be cool if I got it right, though. It'd be really cool. So that I could actually, get one right. I mean, it's harder the longer the draft goes on. To guess the correct pick. A.D. Mitchell would make a lot of sense. But I'm done guessing A.D. Mitchell. Here we go. The Bengals pick is about to be announced. Jatavian Sanders is the guess. Could it be Jatavian? They did not trade T. Higgins yet. No, I like Chris Jenkins a lot. I would have been fine with the Bengals taking Byron Murphy in the first round. But if you can get Chris Jenkins in the second round while still drafting Amarius Mims, that to me is like A plus level drafting. I like this pick a lot for the Bengals. Now, so let's just go ahead and get this out of the way here. I do need a quick little. You know, we've been talking. How long has the stream actually been going on? I mean, time flies when you are having fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh wait, let me get that out. Let me get the stream out. We have been chatting now for a long time. We've been chatting for almost 2 hours. Not complaining, more so just talking. But let's go ahead and get the honey out of the way here. 90 minutes now. It's been an hour and 50. And again, appreciative of everyone being in here. Truly. Commanders are on the clock. My guess here. I'll give the honey one more guess. I'll give it one more before we just get the honey shot. I will say, I'm going to go Zach Frazier again. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. I'm going Zach Frazier as my guess. The pick is in. Skull. Absolutely. Skull. This is the first channel I watched that got me into football. Appreciate it. Oh, I love that pick for them. That's a tone-setting pick. I love that. I love that pick. Now, we didn't get it right, but I love that pick for them. That's a great pick for the Washington Commanders. That is the type of player. Johnny Newton, Mike Sandersstill, Jaden Daniels. That's a great pick. You know what? That's an A-plus pick. You know what that calls for? That's good stuff. The honey hits the spot. But no, that's a great pick. That is a great pick for the Commanders. You got to wash down with a little water. That's just a great all-around pick for the Commanders, man. I mean, they're getting better as a team. You get a quarterback that can, actually make plays. You have a good defensive line. You have a corner in Mike Sandersstill. These are guys that you want on your team. I mean, you want these types of players in your locker room. You want these types of players to play for your team and represent them in a good way. I love Sandersstill, man. He was one of my favorite players in the entire draft. And I tweeted about him when Michigan was during their championship run, how much I loved Sandersstill. And it's just a great pick for the Commanders. Absolutely love that for them. They do need O-line. I mean, they have the capital, right? Yeah, they're up again in 3 picks, so they can still they can certainly still address the offensive line. Zach Frazier is still right there. I would be very surprised if either the Steelers or Colts take Zach Frazier. So they're right there for him. Pick is in for the Pittsburgh Steelers, evidently. Washington ready for playoffs? No, not in that division. Not in that division, they're not. But I like what they're doing. I really do like what they are doing in terms of where they're building moving forward. Steelers are historically good at that position. It makes sense for them to draft tackle. I mean, they took Troy Fautanu last night. If the Steelers take A.D. Mitchell, that would be that would be just the ultimate. I thought the Steelers love red flags. AD would make the most sense for them then. By the way, we're at 267. Let's get it up to 280 likes. Let's get it up to 280. I was going to say smackaroos, but we'll go 280. Steelers take Michael Pratt. That would be funny if the Steelers took Michael Pratt 51 overall. That would actually be... I would just laugh at that, to be completely honest. Man... 280 equals honey shot. Guys, we just did one. You gotta pace them out. You gotta pace them out. My guess is Rattler. Come on, guys. We're not serious about the Steelers taking a quarterback. Are we? My guess for the Steelers, I mean, A.D. Mitchell just makes too much sense. Okay, did Chris Mitchell actually just make a buzzer beater? Or Chris Middleton, rather. Did he actually just make a buzzer beater? Are we talking hoops? Ooh. They're in overtime, I see. I actually did have money on the Bucs, but responsibly. But we'll see. AD and Pickens would be a funny combo. They'd be a fun duo to watch. I would love that for them. Probably Caitlin Clark. I don't think Caitlin Clark is going to be the selection. My guess is Torrey Taylor. Shout out Torrey, the punter. The punter from Iowa. I mean, he had more yards than the Iowa had offense. How about instead of repeatedly guessing AD Mitchell, we guess which team finally takes him? Hey, look, I'm not guessing AD. I said I'm done guessing AD, but I would love... I can't wait to see where he goes. But, like, I'm done guessing him specifically. If I had to guess for the Steelers, I think I would probably go Ennis Rakestraw Jr. if I had to officially guess. All right, that's where I would go with this. That is where I would go with this. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream because I think at some point next year, during actual NFL games, I think I will, like, do this for an entire game. So, like, you know, like, not maybe, like, week 1, like, the Thursday night game while football's back, but, like, maybe, like, you know, like, week 2, week 3, Thursday night, Monday night, go live for a game. If you guys would enjoy that, we'll see. I do want to do more face cam stuff moving forward, though, truly. I really do. But that is just one thing that we have moving forward. All right. We're waiting on the Steelers pick. Who are they going to go with? Who are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to go with? Who are the Pittsburgh Steelers? I can be the Mannings of football analysis. Yeah, I think the Mannings know a little more ball than me. And by a little, I mean by a lot. By, like, more than I will ever know. Like, they know more in, like, their pinky fingernail than I'll ever know in, like, my entire existence. All right, here we go. Steelers on the clock. Muth is announcing the pick. Okay, I like this pick a lot. I mean, look, they have Troy Fautanu, they have Zach Frazier. Now, look, I know the whole Russell Wilson, like, you know, you have to build around Russ, you know, Steelers Nation, let's ride. But, look, whether the next quarterback, I mean, whether Russ is the quarterback for 1 year, 3 years, whatever, you have to, you know, get stronger up front. The Steelers have three... Oh, damn, Zach Frazier was 51st. They have 3 top 51 picks in the last 2 years in the offensive line. In Broderick Jones, in Troy Fautanu, and Zach Frazier. Now, I have expressed extreme frustration with the Steelers at the quarterback position at times, especially with Kenny just flat out missing reads last year. That was just inexplicable. You know, you'd have a guy on a quick in that should have been the primary read, and Kenny, for whatever reason, just wasn't there. And there were so many just times to be frustrated with Kenny on tape. But the offensive line at least gives Russ a chance, and it'll also help out with Najee and Jalen Warren in the run game. So I give the Zach Frazier pick an A+. I like this a lot. Zach Frazier is a phenomenal pick. Love it. I absolutely love it for the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, it's just a great draft pick. How do you spell Fautanu? Let's go ahead and go back up to... Let's go ahead and go... I'm sorry, I'm just firing a quick tweet off. Troy Fautanu. Oh, I got to go back to round 1. Let's go ahead and go back to round 1 then here. Probably should not have done that. Nope, we're good. Troy Fautanu, pick 20. They're killing it, man. The Steelers are doing it. Who do you think wins the starting job in Pittsburgh? I think it's going to be Russ. I thought it was Russ the whole time, to be honest. I thought they said, like, pretty... I thought it was pretty clear that they would have Russ be the guy. The comments are saying Colts take AD. Finally, the Colts do it. The pick is in for the Colts. I wonder if that's true. The Colts took Laiatu Latu at pick 15. We'll see. We will see. The Colts are on the clock. Steelers taking Zach Frazier, though. That's incredible value at pick 51. I do like that. Here we go. Colts about to announce the pick. Here we go. They are announcing it now. Commanders are on the clock, evidently. Colts take Cooper. You got it 53. I don't know. We got to see who's 52 here. Comment your prediction, by the way. Man, they got him. They got him. Got him. Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Bernard Ryman, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly. What an offense. What an offense they have now. Congratulations, Colts fans. Truly. Truly. I am so happy for them. And I am so happy to have a duo of Anthony Richardson and A.D. Mitchell. That's awesome, man. I am so happy for the Colts. By the way, somebody in here commented that you're incredibly handsome. I think that his name was Caleb. I appreciate that. Anyway, but I did want to address that. But no, the A.D. Mitchell is... I love that for them. Colts trade back. They still get A.D. Mitchell. I mean, a trio of Pittman, A.D., and Josh Downs. AR and A.D. is going to be scary. You're damn right it is. Guys, the AFC South is unbelievable. Titans are a work in progress, but they're getting there. Titans are like, look, is it an A+ pick? Absolutely it is. It absolutely is 100% an A+ pick. I mean, it is like, man, Jelani Woods is going to be a beast in the offense now. I like Jelani Woods. I still have potential. I'm still holding out hope for Jelani Woods, but that is. I can't just explain how excited I am for the thought of what the Colts can do, especially with Shane Steichen as their head coach. I love Shane Steichen. By the way, the Browns are now on the clock, first time this draft. I could be just being a dummy here. Are they the last team to pick in this draft, like for the first time? Everyone else is picked, right? I'm thinking. Because the Texans have, they were one. Right, yeah, they are. Man, honey shot for the A+. I don't know. We'll see if I'm debating on the honey shot. I'm debating on it, but man, guys, let's go. I'm so excited for AD. I thought AD comped to George Pickens. I saw some people comp him to not Troy Franklin. They didn't comp AD to Troy Franklin. I saw some people comp AD to CD Lamb, and I can honestly see that. I love what Chris Ballard's doing. I know Chris Ballard has caught a lot of crap over the years. By the way, I've been seeing a lot of Patrick Paul love. I do like Patrick Paul a lot, actually. But, I don't know. Top 53? We'll see. Who is Washington going to take? Although I do like what Washington's doing. I think they do need to invest in their trenches at some point. Roger Rosengarten, Patrick Paul wouldn't be bad. I would not prefer Kingsley Suamataia here if we can draft Troy Franklin. Man, I love what the Colts are doing, though. Just building around the quarterback. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Cooper Beebe would be a good pick. Keegan, good call. That'd be a good pick. Smouse said it with, by the way, Smouse, nice Gengar profile picture. This is how to build around a young quarterback. I completely agree. Still a few good wide receiver prospects on the board as well. This draft is loaded. I agree. I agree. We missed huge, or Washington missed huge not taking AD. I mean, you could say Washington missed a couple of things, but I mean, they still got Johnny Newton. They still got Sandmer still. We'll see where the Commanders go. If Washington gets BB, I'll be pretty sad. I wouldn't be sad. I think it'd be a good pick for him. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think it'd be a good pick for him. But I am ecstatic with, I mean, the last 3 picks, by the way. Actually, I'll say last 4 picks. Chris Jenkins, Mike Sanderstill, Zach Frazier, and A.D. Mitchell are 4 guys that I loved in this class. Specifically, Sanderstill and Mitchell. I mean, those were like, everybody has like my guys. But those 2 were absolutely just 2 of my favorite players throughout the entire process. And I love the draft because it's, you know, you get to just watch these guys, then you read their background stories, and you know, you watch them on Saturdays, and then, of course, in Sanderstill's case, you watch him win a natty, and I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for everyone, and I'm just, in AD's case, now he gets to get passes thrown to him by AR. Man. Sanderstill, a baller, loved watching him play as a Michigan fan. I mean, hell yeah. Hell, I'm sure you did, man. He was a tank. He's a beast, man. All right. There's apparently some new viewers in here. We're up to 470. If we get to 300 likes, the people go crazy over the honey shot. They love the honey shots, but if we get to 300 likes, we'll crank another. We'll get another honey shot. But not a bad second round. This second round has been fun, man. I got to be honest. I like the second round, especially the early to mid second round, more than I like the first round, because especially like the first like 4 picks in most drafts. Last night was not an exception. It's more like, all right, like we know who it's gonna be. It's just a matter of like, all right, like, you know, what's, you know what I mean. Although I will say, last year when the Texans traded up for Will Anderson, that was electric. That was electric. So many trade ups made things spicy. Indeed they did. Indeed they did. The draft doesn't start until the second round. Too bad the Vikings were stupid and traded all their draft picks by moving up. I mean, how is that a bad thing? You get the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and you get a quarterback that, you know, should get better with time. J.J. McCarthy, I don't think that's a bad thing. Here we go. Pick is being announced. Darryl Green back out. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was a big Ben Sinnott guy. I loved Ben. This like these last 5 picks have just been like my guys. Like all of them have been my guys. I like Sinnott a lot. Now, if we were going like another like version of my guy, just another player that I love in the process, it would probably be. It'd have to be like Javon Baker. I like him a lot. It'd have to be like probably Javon Baker would have to be the next pick. Although I think it's going to happen. He's not BB. I'll take it. Someone did predict a tight end. Feel like that deserves a shot. FA, make sure you don't overdose on the honey. We're not. Oh, we got 300 likes. We did get 300 likes. Ben Simmons. Let's go. It's not Ben Simmons. Now Ben Sinnott is an animal. He is an animal. I love Ben Sinnott. Yeah, the thing is I like Ben Sinnott. The Commanders are up again at 67, so they're up in 14 picks. I would like for them to trade up to get an offensive lineman. That's the only thing that I'm a little worried about right now. Although the honey shot's coming, just give me a sec. The honey, I'm not faking on the honey. We don't mess around with the honey. What is my opinion on the Giants draft? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything, just to make sure, because it's just Nubin. Right now, it's just Nubin and Malik Neighbors so far, right? I just want to make sure I'm not missing on that. I like it. I mean, they improved at 2 positions. I mean, they especially needed Malik Neighbors. So I like what the Giants are doing, and I mean, I'm not to say like I'm like, man, they're absolute big winners, but I like what they're doing. If that makes sense, I like what they're doing. That is good stuff, man. That is good stuff. It's like local too, so you know it's like the good stuff. Like, Here we go. Browns pick is getting announced. Oh, the Trevor Project. That's awesome. That is awesome, actually. Detroit's draft. I'll get to that in a second here. Let's go! Oh my goodness, another one of my guys! Dude, I freaking love Michael Hall. I love Michael Hall. Like, come on, man. Like, this has just been like a straight, like 6-player span. Like, I love all of these guys. Michael Hall is entering a perfect situation for him to succeed. These last 6 picks have been incredibly enjoyable, to be honest. I love Michael Hall, man. This is just another good landing spot. Great first pick for the Browns. Great first pick. Great first pick for the Browns. And a home run landing spot for Michael Hall Jr. All right, and Schwartz will do him right. I completely agree. I like what I like the possibility of what the Browns are doing, man. I love the pick for them. Now the Dolphins are on the clock, right? Yes, the Dolphins are on the clock. This is a scary pick. This is only their second pick of the draft, right? After Chop. All right, so the Dolphins are on the clock. I don't know where they go. I have to be honest. I have no idea where they go. I would like them to go Cooper Beebe, by the way. I would like them to go Cooper Beebe. We'll see. And again, by the way, appreciate everyone being in here. We actually have more people in here than we had last night, which is crazy on day 2 rather than day 1. So real football heads are in here right now, which is awesome. But I'm eager to see where the Dolphins go. The pick is in. People are saying Cooper Beebe. I would like Cooper Beebe to go to Miami. I can't imagine they go Braswell with taking Chop in the first round. Although, if I would like the Cowboys to go Braswell, but grades for picks after the honey shot. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I would give the Michael Hall pick an A. I'm not gonna grade like every single pick, but not chatting as much, but always gonna try and support the stream. Hey, I appreciate that, Jalen. Like I said, I appreciate everyone being in here, man. Jatavian Sanders, there's no chance. There's no chance, right? The Dolphins fans go crazy. They show them like there's just a dude just yelling at the TV, like yelling at the TV. Have we gotten any reaction to the AI logos on the left and right of the stage? I haven't even been paying attention, to be honest. Appreciate the football content, man, keeping me alive. I mean, I don't know if that's serious, but I do like take pride in helping people's mental health because, I mean, people go through shit, man, and whenever you can impact somebody's life and day better, just do it. Just every time, just do it. So I do take pride in helping people out mentally. But anyway, like in impacting positively. But here we go. Miami's on the clock. No idea where they're going, by the way. I like Patrick Paul. That's a good pick. This is another one of this span here has been incredible of just guys that I like in this draft. Patrick Paul, people were sleeping on like Patrick Paul's stock last summer was like it was like up here and then it's slowly been declining. It's slowly been declining. I like the Patrick Paul pick for Miami. I think Paul is a really, really solid player, and I think he's going to be a good fit in Miami. Now, he's going to be a tackle. He's not going to be able to... I don't think he's going to be able to kick inside. But, look, Teron Armstead has been a big... he's been a big question mark in terms of what they can do, in terms of how much they can actually rely on him moving forward. But I do like Patrick Paul a lot. I like the fit, and you need an athletic tackle. Patrick Paul is an athletic tackle, and I like this pick. I really do. TJ Tampa to the Bucs. Calling it. Your videos and podcasts get me through driving all around all day for work. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, we're trying to just, keep impacting, you know? Barbecue chicken for Epinesa. Where did barbecue chicken come in from? I mean, I do like a good barbecue chicken, but where did that come in from? Let's see here. Somebody said, where was it here? Love the haircut, appreciate it. There was a question that I actually specifically wanted to answer. Here it is, from Jeffrey. Any chance Spencer Rattler goes tonight? Yeah, I would, to be completely honest, I'd be surprised if Spencer Rattler doesn't go tonight. Spencer Rattler to Dallas would be funny. It would be funny. It would be funny. It would actually, I would laugh, to be honest, if Spencer Rattler went to the Cowboys. What are we doing the honey shot for? There's got to be a reason for the honey shot. I've already taken like 3. There's got to be, I mean, we're not just taking him just to take him. Talia Tagovailoa to the Cowboys. I mean, I think it would be funny, like, because like 4 years ago right now, the Eagles were in a tricky situation with Carson Wentz, and they took Jalen Hurts. And everybody was stunned. Now, can you imagine if the Cowboys actually took... If the Cowboys took Spencer Rattler here? Supposedly there was a leak like a couple days ago that said the Cowboys are taking a running back in the second round. So I will predict and say Trey Benson. I'll say Trey Benson. That'll be my guess. Somebody said honey shot for Frank Gore Jr. I would do like a shot of Everclear if it was Frank Gore Jr. And I don't drink at all. It's not going to be Frank Gore Jr. I will spoil and say it will not be Frank Gore Jr. here. I'm going to guess Trey Benson. Like I said, Trey Benson is my guess here. How far do I think Troy Franklin falls? Probably mid-third round. Just because DJ said a couple days ago that the league was a lot lower on Troy Franklin than the media was. A lot of the media thought Troy Franklin, and I partook in this too, even though I don't really include myself in the media, but Troy Franklin, I mocked him in the first round a lot, but Daniel Jeremiah just said the league is a lot lower on him, which is kind of surprising because I think Troy Franklin has really good movement ability, and I think he is a lot more than just a speed threat, than more than just a deep threat. I like Troy Franklin. I think he's a pretty solid route runner, especially for his size, so I like Franklin. Franklin is my best player on my personal 150 big board. Get ready to learn Everclear, buddy. I don't think I'm going to have to learn Everclear because I don't think it's going to be Frank Gore. Although that would be a shame because I would actually have to like go to the store and actually buy some. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to have to learn that. That'd be hilarious though. Peyton Wilson, for me, they need a linebacker. I just can't imagine they go another injury-prone linebacker. Yeah, I like Trey. I did guess Trey Benson, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Junior Colson. Like both players for Dallas. Although Dallas has so many needs, like so many, not like gaping needs, not just like huge needs, that you can really justify almost any position for them. Seriously, you can almost justify any position for Dallas. Here we go. The pick is in. We Dumb Boys. Oh, man. Your media for me, I appreciate it. Alright, the TV is just like panning around. Jalen Wright. Hey, FA, what's your take on Jordan Travis? If Big Blue takes him in round 3, would that be a smart move? I wish the best for Jordan Travis. I mean, I wouldn't say round 3 a smart move. I think he's going to be like a round 6 pick. That's I guess my take. I think he's a round 6 developmental player. Would be that. I want the best for him though. I really do. And I thought, I mean, like everyone, the end of his season sucked. That is what that is, unfortunately. But I wish there was more for Jordan Travis at the end of the year. Roman Wilson or Corley. I like both players. I do like both players. But my guess for this pick was Trey Benson. Alright, Cowboys are going out to announce the pick now. Who are we going? Who's the pick going to be? Like I said, everyone guess your pick. Yeah, Gunner being the OPOY next year. Come on now. I think they go Wilson. I just would be so surprised. supposedly the Cowboys are going running back. Somebody said bit late. Can you tell me if my Dolphins picked a good player? Yes, I like Patrick Paul a lot. He's a good tackle. He's athletic. He's a good player. I like Patrick Paul. But the Cowboys pick is in. We're just waiting for it to be announced. My guess was Trey Benson. Ooh, somebody just got spoiled. They went on the old bird app. I said Patrick Paul's a good tackler. I did not say he's a good tackler. I like Patrick Paul. I gotta head out for the night, but like I said earlier, appreciate you, man. Have a good night. Yeah, you too, man. You too, everyone. Like I said, we're having a good time on the stream here. Frank Gore Jr. is going to be better than his dad. We'll see. I would be surprised if he has a tenth of the carries or yards that his dad had. Okay. So, Nealand, I will say this. I am not the biggest guy on Marshawn Nealand. I don't think it's a terrible pick. I'm not going to act like, you know, they just completely botched their draft. But what I'll say about Marshawn Nealand is he's entering a good situation from the start, especially with Micah on the other side. But Marshawn Nealand is... I'll say this. I'll say a positive angle and a negative angle. I'll say this. The positive angle is Marshawn Nealand is he's kind of a one-trick pony, and I saw this tweet that makes a lot of sense, and it basically said that if you have seen one rep of Marshawn Nealand, then you've seen them all. He is a speed to power guy. There's not a problem with that. There's a lot of NFL pass rushers that are one-trick ponies that have made a fine living off being one-trick ponies. But that can be countered at the NFL level. Marshawn's power can be countered. Now, he is extremely athletic. And I want to pull up some numbers here just for reference. But, I mean, the reality is Marshawn Nealand, I think at his peak, would be like an 8 to 9 sack, maybe a 10 sack type player. He tested 92nd in the 20-yard shuttle, which is incredible for him. He tested 62nd in the 40. The thing is I wasn't a big Marshawn Nealand fan. At his best, he can be a good Robin to Micah's Batman. At his worst, he could be, I'm sorry, but out of the league in a couple years. I'm hoping for the first part, obviously. I'm hoping that Marshawn can be a good Robin to Micah's Batman. Now, if you think he's going to be a 12 or 13 sack player, then I unfortunately have some news for you. But unfortunate news at that. But we'll see how Marshawn Nealand plays out. I'm not the biggest fan. I am overall not the biggest fan of what the Cowboys have done so far by trading out of Graham Barton to take Tyler Guyton and then to take Marshawn Nealand. I just feel like the Cowboys took two players that have concerns when they were on the board over players that could have been taken that don't have as many concerns. I honestly would have preferred Chris Braswell to Marshawn Nealand, or I would have preferred Adisa Isaac to Marshawn Nealand, but we'll see how it pans out for him. All right, let's see here. Packers pick is in. We have 2 picks in. The Bucs is in, and the Packers are in. Somebody asked, "What do you think the Loins are going to do at 61?" I love whenever there's like one letter just misspelled, and it makes a big difference. I love that. We'll see how the board plays out. I think it would make a tremendous amount of sense for the Lions to go Chris Braswell if he's available. Lions going Chris Braswell would make a lot of sense for them. It really, really would, especially if he can play opposite of Aiden. That would be a very good pick for them. You don't understand the Cowboys are going all in. Right, they're going all in. Jerry's doing a good job. They're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. No. I just worry about that. He's gone. Who's gone? Who's gone? TJ Tampa, Adisa Isaac, or Braswell here. By the way, when are you declaring for the NFL draft? Me? Next year. Cowboys solidifying their wild card exit. I worry about them, man. Like, what is the long-term plan? Truly, what is the long-term plan for Dallas? Like, are we just content every year with being a top 4 or 5 team in the NFC? No, and by the way, I know that it's the easy thing to, let's just dunk on the Cowboys. But truly, what is their plan? Develop Trey Lance? I mean, I feel like that is such a last second, like, dart throw. Please help us, Trey Lance. I don't like what the Cowboys are doing. I don't like what the Cowboys are doing. And I feel like I haven't said that in previous drafts like I felt about this one. Do I see it? Somebody, okay, so here's kind of 2 questions in one. What's the trade market for Ayuk? And then do you see a single player getting traded? If Ayuk hasn't been traded yet, I don't think he's going to this draft. And to answer, I mean, there's probably going to be a player traded or 2 tomorrow. Just later round guys. But nothing too crazy. As a Cowboys fan, I've seen some shit, but this offseason is special. Yeah, I mean, this is bad this offseason, man. Like, it's like I know there's believe it or not, there actually is reasonable Cowboys fans. I know the Cowboys fans get a bad rap for the ones screaming like, we done boys, it's our year every year, but man, this season for the Cowboys, this offseason for the Cowboys just stinks. I'm sorry. I don't like what they've done. Here we go. Oh, Tom Brady's in the chat. What's up, Tom? Here we go. Bucs pick. All right, so Braswell going to Detroit is off the board. I liked the idea of Braswell going to Detroit. No, but I like this pick for Jason Light and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a couple reasons. I mean, Chris is a solid pass rusher. He actually led the SEC in pressures this past year, even over his teammate Dallas Turner. I know Dallas obviously gets all the love for being the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, but he had 8 sacks last year. He had 10.5 tackles for a loss. I was not a big Braswell fan early in the draft process, and that was because I thought there was a real chance that Chris was going to be taken in the top 20, 25 picks, and I would not want a franchise to think Braswell is going to be a pass rusher that would, lead a team and that would potentially be an 11 or 12 sack player. I never thought Braswell was going to be that guy. So now if you take him at the end of the second round, though, that's a different discussion. I like this landing spot for Braswell. I really do, especially in a Todd Bowles defense. I like this landing spot for Braswell. 57, I'm fine with. Top 20 for Chris Braswell, I'm not fine with. Packers pick is in. Oh, they're announcing it already. Okay. Javon Bullard, good safety. I like Javon. He has versatility, which is critical in today's NFL. Safeties in today's NFL aren't just the old sit back, let's just play basically 2 shell and just, you're just going to play zone coverage and that's it. In today's NFL, you have to play multiple roles. And that's almost at every position. That's not just one or two positions. So Bullard has a lot of versatility. And to be honest, as a Vikings fan, I think it's a really, really good pick for Green Bay. I like that for them a lot. Now, Green Bay has taken Bullard, they've taken Edge Cooper, and they, of course, took Jordan Morgan last night. I think they're having a pretty solid draft overall. I do like this pick for the Packers. And now you're in a secondary with, Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney. I like the Bullard selection. Ryan, appreciate the super chat. First super on a live stream. Appreciate it, Ryan. Appreciate it. And Ryan says, love seeing how far the channel has grown over the years. Best breakdowns on YouTube. Hope it continues. Go Birds. Who are you shocked is still available? First off, appreciate the kind words. Always appreciate the kind words. Second, go Birds. Even though I'm not an Eagles fan, I do like saying go Birds to Eagles fans when I see them out in public. Shocked it's still available to me would be Rakestraw, Troy Franklin. Give me a sec here. Like Blake Fisher, but to continue answering this question, I'll get back to Blake here in a second. To go back to answering this, I'm kind of surprised we only saw one running back go off the board. I thought once one would go, I thought not that they would all go, but I thought you'd see 2 or 3 more. But I would say Troy Franklin still being here, just from where I have him ranked, even though I thought he would slide a little bit. Just the fact that Troy Franklin is still here at pick 60 is kind of surprising. Rakestraw, to me, I thought was a top 45, 50 player in this class. Cooper Beebe, I think, should come off the board fairly soon. Junior Colson is another player that I think is a really, really good player. He should be coming off the board anytime. And those would be the ones. Those would be the ones. But Blake Fisher, by the way, I do like the player. Blake is from Notre Dame, obviously, in this class. Joe Alt, of course, got more love. He was a 2-year starter at right tackle. And, look, he's only 21 years old. So there's a lot of room for growth for him. Fisher will... I think he could start for the Texans. And, I mean, maybe not right away, but you're taking him at 59, hoping to develop, hopefully in that Brian O'Neill mold, where that's kind of what the Vikings did back in 2018. They just developed him, and O'Neill's become a Pro Bowl tackle. Fisher has a high ceiling in this class. Honey shot for... I forgot about the Honey even sitting here, to be honest. Honey shot for TJ Tampa to Kansas City. I'll make that deal. Carson. I'll make that deal for you. I honestly forgot about the Honey, to be honest with you. It was just behind my water bottle. I forgot about him. All right. By the way, I do again appreciate the words. By the way, Matthew Corson, congrats on the YouTube. Was watching the videos back when you had 3K. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a long. I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I try not to get too sentimental, but put your head down, work hard. Good things can happen. Speaking of Alt, do you see him having any troubles transitioning to right tackle or no? You might have for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And there's probably going to be a clip or two where Alt gets legitimately beat, and you say to wow, Alt, got really cooked there, especially if Alt plays like the Raiders, especially if they play the Raiders in week 1, and Max Crosby gets him in his NFL debut on a bad rep, because everybody, whenever a top pick gets beat, the first thing to do is, oh, did you see him? And so it's a whole thing. I was a little too dramatic with that part, but you get the point. To answer the question, though, Alt's going to be fine. Alt's going to be fine in the long run. I like Joe Alt a lot. And he was a tight end 2 years ago, and he was an All-American left tackle last year. I refuse to believe that a guy that can do that cannot make the transition to right tackle. He's going to be fine. But I do think there will be a couple clips where just everyone's gonna point out oh my gosh, Joe Alt, how could you possibly, how you know what I mean, how could you take him in the top 5, or why would you switch him? And there's just gonna be a lot of overreactions like that. All right, pick is in for Buffalo. Had Franklin as my wide receiver 6 before the draft. Was it that stupid? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. All right. The trading frenzy has ended. Evidently, it'll probably pick back up. Who is there? Is there spoiling picks? Is there spoiling? I didn't realize there was. Why does Minshew get no respect? Feel like he should be given a fair shot? I mean, the Raiders feel the same way. The Raiders are giving him a fair chance. I mean, they absolutely are. They have given him every resource imaginable. Well, within reason, of course. I mean, Devontae, and they've done a really good job. All right, let's see here. Oh, Ryan, appreciate it. He says, I also agree with other Ryan on two fronts. Love your channel and analysis, and also go Birds. Go Birds. Go Birds. Like I said, I say it. I'm a Vikings fan, but I say it. I have friends that are Eagles fans, and I find it just like addicting to just like to say go Birds, like whenever I can. It's easy, you don't have to do like a skull and like do the clap and everything. I mean, technically you don't have to clap when you say skull, but you get the point. Like, if you can get a quick, go Birds. Everyone knows it. Everyone gets the point. The pick is in for Buffalo, though. With Buffalo on the clock. I mean, I'm Keon Coleman earlier. They lost Hyde and Poyer both in free agency, and Tre'Davious. I'm going to guess Jaden Hicks. Jaden Hicks from Washington State would probably be my guess here. It's got to be secondary, though. I can't imagine it not being secondary. Okay. Cole Bishop, I got to be honest, that one surprises me. I will pull up my big board and see where I had him, and that's just, that one surprises me, to be honest. I didn't think Cole Bishop was close to the best safety on the board. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I just was not expecting Cole Bishop. I think that was a very, like, you could have traded back probably even a full round and still got Cole Bishop. I will say positively about Cole is he was pretty athletic on tape, and that he showed that he could man-to-man cover like tight ends and everything, which is obviously critical, especially in the AFC. Whether not just Kelsey, but whether it's Freiermuth or whether it's whoever. And I'm probably blanking on a couple obvious ones, but if you can cover those, like if you could have him play like a big nickel role, I'm just kind of surprised. I'm kind of taken back by that pick, to be honest. Slow pitch Mitch, appreciate the super chat. First super on the live stream. Appreciate the super chats coming through, by the way. It's really, like I said, I do appreciate everything, guys, truly. And he says, just tuning in, can you talk about the Vikings, McCarthy, Turner, and the compensation the Vikings had to pay to get to 17 from 23? I absolutely can after the Lions pick is announced here. Barry Sanders is coming out. I will absolutely discuss that in a minute. 100%, yes. So, let's see here. I don't know if Barry's going to go into a spiel here, if he's just going to straight announce the pick, because there's sometimes they like to say everything. I love the no-nonsense of old heads who get straight to the pick. Me too. New attendance record. Woo, yeah, baby! Okay. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. and Terrion Arnold. Absolutely freaking love that for the Lions, man. Brad Holmes is a beast. I mean, that is terrific drafting by the Lions there. You get Terrion Arnold last night. Now you get Ennis Rakestraw. Absolutely love it. By the way, I have not forgotten about the Super Chat Slow Pitch Mitch. And hold on here. yes, I have not forgotten about this. I have not forgotten about the super chat, but I mean, incredible value, man. Carlton Davis, Ennis Rakestraw, Terry and Arnold, the Lions. There's a reason the Lions are going to have the type of year that, I mean, they went to the NFC Championship game last year. They're going to probably go at least to the divisional round this year again. They're a problem. They are a problem. This is phenomenal drafting. Now, to answer this question, first off, J.J. McCarthy, whether the player was J.J., whether the player was any of the top 6 that went in the top 12, and of course, as a Vikings fan, like, the first thing I get accused of is being biased. But I would talk myself into that quarterback as an analyst because of the situation they're in, no matter who the guy was, whether I was a Vikings fan, whether I was a Packers fan, because that situation is meant for success. You have the receivers, you have the tight end, you have the running back, you have the offensive line, you have the coach, especially, well, the tackle is not necessarily the interior, but JJ also has Sam Darnold in front of him. Now, not specifically Darnold's going to, tell him everything that went wrong and he's going to, be some messiah, but the point is, he has all the tools, and if JJ fails, let's just call it what it is. It's on him. So I like it. I like the JJ selection. He has every tool imaginable to work with, every coach that imaginable to work with that, to help him get better day in and day out. JJ also has the work ethic, and that's one big thing that you don't question with JJ. His work ethic is off the charts. I absolutely love that for the Vikings, that they have a quarterback with this much determination. Now, the Ravens are picking, by the way. I'll continue to answer this. Oh, hello, Dinata. Hello, Dinata is actually a former Lion. All right, so I do like the Roger Rosengarten pick, and I'll get to the Roger Rosengarten pick in a minute. But look, the Vikings did have to pay a premium to move up. There's no denying that. And I saw a couple tweets specifically that were like, if you factor in all of the Vikings in terms of what they gave up, it equates to like an extra like second round pick or something. But like, here's the deal: the last I checked, you're in a division with Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, the Lions, who are continuing to kill it every offseason. At some point, you have to get premium players. And Kwesi said it best last night. I know people have their mixed opinions on Kwesi, and I understand why. But 4 years from now, are you going to remember pick 157? Are you going to remember pick 132? Are you going to remember, man, we could have had that guy with pick 146 in the 5th round that played 27 games for the franchise and had 79 career tackles? No. So, sure, you're paying more in day 3 capital, but you're getting an SEC Defensive Player of the Year and a national champion quarterback who are both 21 years old at a premium position for the next 5 years. There's a trade, by the way. The Chiefs traded up one spot. So I hope that answered your question, Mitch, but that's... I mean, I like what the Vikings are doing. The Chiefs pick is in, by the way. All right, let's keep it going here. Somebody shout out, I want to say it was Carson. If it's TJ Tampa, it is a honey shot. So hopefully, Carson, for your sake, it's TJ Tampa. We'll see though. He's been screaming for TJ Tampa. Carson, this rests on you, buddy. This is on you. We'll see if we go with the honey shot. We'll see if we go with the beloved honey shot. Although I'm not gonna lie, I could be taking one soon. My voice is getting a little hoarse. Oh, Papa Drew despises the Roger Rosengarten pick. All right, Carson, here we go. Let's see who it is. Hmm. Kingsley Suamatia, he's a very good, well, he's a very athletic tackle. He's going to be a guy that the Chiefs bring in, they develop for the next couple of years. I hope he's not a day one starter, but I like the pick for the Chiefs, especially at this point in the draft, especially for where they are. So, good for the Chiefs to get Kingsley. And like I said, you're at the end of the second round. Hopefully he develops, but we'll see here. Now, Roger Rosengarten, I was genuinely surprised that people hated it, because I like Roger Rosengarten, but Kingsley Suamatia is a Chief, and I'm just updating it here on my board. Kingsley Suamatia, Penei Sewell's cousin. I wanted him for the Ravens. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, that actually stinks then, because I know Ravens fans obviously hate Chiefs. Well, they don't hate Chiefs fans. They hate the Chiefs because of well, for obvious reasons. Solid Kansas City, just being Kansas City. I mean, yeah, man, that's what the Chiefs do. The trade was like, it was like a 6 and a 5. So it was like KC gives up like I want to say like a late 5 and then a 6 or something. It was like 172 for 211, and then obviously 63 to 64 is what the trade was. All right, San Francisco pick is in. I don't know where they're going to go here. Maybe we have a third straight tackle, Amagaji. Kieran Amagaji from Yale. Maybe we go 3 straight tackles. Wasn't in earlier. Do you think Philly giving up 50 and 53 to get Cooper DeJean was too much? I do not, because I think Cooper DeJean was a top 25 player in this class. I actually had Cooper. I think I actually had him at like 11 or 12. I had him pretty high on my board. I don't know where I had Cooper specifically, but I didn't think it was that big of a play. But I like Cooper DeJean a lot, so I didn't think it was too much of an overpay. San Francisco 49ers pick is in. We'll see where they go. Massive tornado hit near Omaha. I want to look into this. My heart goes out to everyone there. What happened here? We'll look into this a little bit here. Oh my goodness. Jesus. There's a video of of the tornado. And I'm just gonna say, if you go on Twitter, it actually just dude, tornadoes are scary, man. Obviously, my heart goes out to everyone there, but that is scary stuff, dude. I genuinely cannot imagine a tornado. I know, obviously, probably everyone's seen the movie Twister, or at least, seen videos of tornadoes, but, can you actually imagine one, pulling up next to your apartment complex or your house? I mean, my heart goes out to everyone, man. That is just, it's sad, man. Don't think I've said it, but by the way, but love the stream, appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate you guys being in here. I'm eager to see who the 49ers take. I really am. Pick is in, and NFL Network is on commercial. We will see where they go. And what's crazy is we have more people in here tonight for the second round of the draft. And people stayed in longer for the second round than they did the first round. Let's see here. Do you think the Bengals have done good? I do. I really like what the Bengals have done. I really, really like what the Bengals have done. Chris Jenkins and Amarius Mims, I mean, you have to establish the trenches. You have to, get big, and I like what they've done in that aspect for them. All right, let's see here. The 49ers are on the clock. Let's see here. Any guesses? By the way, guess if you do have a if you who do you think the 49ers are taking, by the way. O-line or corner would be my guess here. That would be my guess for the San Francisco 49ers. What's my take on the Rams pick? I like it. They have to figure out a way to replace the big fella at some point who just retired in Aaron Donald. And the reality, I mean, it's not going to be a one-man effort. You can't just say, hey, Byron Murphy, hey, Johnny Newton. I know they didn't draft either of those guys, but the point is you can't just say, hey, go just do the Aaron Donald thing. It doesn't work like that. So I like what they've done. And it's going to be a group. It's going to be a committee effort. It's going to be a committee effort for the Rams. San Fran taking Cooper. Cooper Beebe is who they're thinking. Who you're thinking. We'll see. Who is announcing the pick for the 49ers? Who is this fella announcing the pick? It is Anthony Adams, second round pick by the 49ers back in 2003. Yeah, Cooper Beebe does make a lot of sense for the 49ers. He really does. Yeah, Troy Franklin. Okay. Yeah, Renardo Green, I think, is a really, really solid corner. He's going to be a guy that he's just going to be a complete nuisance to play. And I mean that in the best way. If you get that as a corner, that's a compliment. He's a good football player. This is just a good 49ers pick. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Pearsall at 31, but for as much as I wasn't a fan of that, I like Renardo I like Renardo for San Francisco. I think it's a great fit for him. And I think there's going to be a chance that, we're watching the 49ers play this year in whatever round of the playoffs, and Renardo just steps up, game on the line, and makes a big play. He's a good football player. Lenz is saying he's a little bit of a reach. In theory, it probably is a little bit of a reach, but did the Jets trade up? The Jets are actually on the clock. But anyway, where was it here? Will, I hope you are okay, man. I really do. Like, stay safe, man. Western Maryland, baby. Western Maryland. What is this here? Jets trade up to 65. Heading out. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it. I want to see who the Jets are taking here, because we're going to get to a point where, like, the picks are going to be, like, not announced. They're just going to start, like, just flashing them on the screen. So I am eager to see who the Jets trade up to get. Now, if the Jets get Troy Franklin, that would be extremely exciting. The Jets getting a receiver would be very exciting. Pick is in for the Jets. Even if it's a reach, Niners get their guy, and they're really good developing guys. Exactly. Ambry Thomas played critical snaps down the stretch last year. That's exactly what I'm thinking there. All right, pick is in for the Jets. There's a bunch of people on stage. Jatavian Sanders, I would be surprised. Although that's kind of surprising that he's still available, that he's still, like, on the board. 100% receiver. I think it's got to be receiver, because the Cardinals still need a receiver, and this is a deep receiver class. So why not go up and get your guy? I'm just eager to see, like, who that guy would be. We'll see. We'll see who the Jets go up to get. Is Jatavian Sanders gone? He is not. He is still on the board. Ben Sinnott was taken. He was the second tight end taken. Jets selection. I missed it. Oh, wait, it hasn't been announced. It has not been announced. Sorry. Thought I missed it. We're just waiting on the pick here. If we see it flash across the screen, I'll let you know. Maybe Hicks. I think it's just going to be a pass catcher, to be completely honest. I think it's just going to be a pass catcher. That's just me. I hope they don't go Kyrie Jackson. I would be extremely surprised if they go Kyrie Jackson. That maybe I'm the odd one on that, but I would just be extremely surprised if they go Kyrie Jackson. Frederick squad here. Addison went to my high school. Hey, shout out Tuscarora. Gotta go. You going? Will you be doing second day recaps? I'm thinking about doing a second day recap. We'll see. We'll see on that one. We'll see. I didn't have to go, by the way. That was somebody else saying they had to go. I don't have to go yet. The pick is in for the Jets. Cards should get hometown Rattler. I love that. I love that. The Jets trade up from 72 to 65. Guys, the thing that it just frustrates me is it takes so much time. Just announce the pick. It's got to be for a receiver though. It has to be for a receiver. By the way, if you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this. That if you guys are not following me on Twitter, I'm gonna ask and you're on Twitter, I'm gonna go ahead and just drop my profile. I will ask to follow on there. It's a lot of content like you see on here, so I'm gonna ask to I'm gonna drop it in the comments, and hopefully you guys follow on there. You can just look up football analysis on Twitter. All right, let's go here. TS, Jets. Announce the pick. I like Malachi a lot. He is going to be naturally comped to Debo because of just the quick passes, just those types of plays. I like Malachi a lot. He is going to be a fun player to watch for Aaron Rodgers to get to work with. It's a good landing spot for Malachi as well, especially in an offense with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, and of course Breece Hall. It's a really, really good landing spot for Malachi. But guys, that's going to wrap up right now stream. I appreciate everyone being in here. Like I said, please drop a follow on Twitter. You will see a lot of my takes live on there. I am dropping the stream. Hope to see you guys over there. And like I said, we'll see if we're going to do a recap. But like I said, I greatly, greatly appreciate everyone coming through tonight. And this just everything would not be possible without you guys. It truly would not. And there's going to be a lot of good content moving forward. I'm just going to say